Good evening, Nutmeg and Beyond Curling Nation. Mikey Hope here with Alpheus Winter to bring you exclusively here in Bridgeport, Connecticut at Wonderland of Ice.
Hi, above
The
Sheet C at the Communication Center.
Absolutely, bringing you the 2A event, main event semifinals.
For what tournament is this?
This is for the GNCC Open Championship.
What's GNCC?
That's the Grand National Curling Club.
Why open?
Open means we could play in any format that we choose. We could have an all-female team, an all-male team, 3 of one of the other, 2 and 2.
There you go.
With no limit to age or years experience in curling.
Stick curlers allowed.
Yes, and chair curlers as well.
And chair curlers would be allowed.
We just don't have any. Sheet A is going to be vacant, and we have already gotten kicked off on Sheet C. Ralph's going to run down the lineups.
All right, Sheet C. We've got Ardsley. What color is Ardsley throwing?
Ardsley's throwing the yellow rocks, and they've got Hammer here.
All right, so Chris Bonino skipping. Dan Gerlach has the device. Ryan Heidi, who has a dual membership and Vinay, your buddy. Goneka?
Vinay Goenka.
Vinay Goneka.
My dear friend from Ardsley.
Setting up, throwing the first stone with Hammer, apparently. So it looks like the yellow stones will have Hammer in the first end on Sheet C. And they're going up against Robert Howells of Albany. Robert Howells skip, Julie Granada, Joe Grimaldi, and Colleen McGrath throwing lead rocks.
That's right.
Yes, stick curling is allowed because I see Nigel Lucas standing in the hack here. And that would be Nutmeg 4 with Jake Ness at skip, Robert Kwan Vicing, Sean Cummings at the second position, and Nigel Lucas, the bloke.
And Nutmeg 4, forever to be referred to as just Nutmeg, since they're the only ones out there, have gotten their first off in play by Nigel Lucas. It looks to be a great corner guard.
And Nutmeg has Hammer in the first end.
That is correct.
They'll be going up against the Bucks County Plainfield team, and actually one of the members is from Diamond State, which is Delaware. And that would be Dan Pearson at skip, Jesprit Kaur at vice, John Gephardt second, and Michelle Sheffer standing in the hack now, delivering her rock with the hardline broom.
And as that happens, over on Sheet C, Vinay has been asked to go around that corner guard to bury himself into likely the top 8 with...
Well, look who's watching tonight. Hello, Thomas.
Thomas Lucas. You see a Tom Lucas out there.
Thomas Lucas says we've got a top contender here at the lead of the Nutmeg squad. Thomas, good to see you. Good to hear from you. Here you have a game at West Point tomorrow.
Yes, he does. Playing in net, I believe, for the Fordham Lacrosse.
Fordham Rams, yeah. Let me know when you go up against the Bucknell Bison. Ray.
Is that something that happens, Alf?
Yeah, I think so. All right, look at this coming around here. Ardsley bringing it top 12. Lively weekend of curling here, culminating in the semifinals here. Not quite culminating, but this is it, the creme de la creme.
Sure is. And it looks like we've got John Gephardt from Plainfield and Ryan Heidi of Ardsley in the hack at the same time. John came out first on Sheet B.
With some weight.
Looks like he's being asked to go around the guard under cover. And Ryan Heidi, meanwhile, has been asked to play likely a double to take care of those 2 red stones by Howells in the house.
Nice to see the strong sweepers here. They're not gonna let these rocks go off too narrow.
They've got a lot of that. There's some real athletic and
real strong sweeping. But I tell you what, I don't see anybody sweeping like that. My friend Cody Klauser, holy minestrone. That man, he's a man among boys when it comes to sweeping here. All right, Sean Cummings is away now on B. Red stone with Hammer. And are we going for appeal?
It seems to be. It's a little bit down weight, just as Joe Grimaldi of Albany comes out of the hack on sheet C.
Not exactly a peel, sort of a tap up, inadvertently tapping them closer to the house.
And
Joe,
Joe's stone is approaching the top
a
yellow.
little wide,
They're looking
a
to go
little
around it.
heavy, and
As you say, just a bit too heavy. And that actually now does render the yellow stone shot rock, if I'm not mistaken.
yellow sitting 3 behind guard in the corner.
And John Geppert of Plainfield is up again with his second stone. And it would appear that, I guess Chaspreet is in the house. They're doing a different format, but he's looking to tap up that stone in the top 12.
And the sweepers are on it.
And it looks like they've got it.
And they do. Nice
And they
tap.
bumped it up rather
Right to the
nicely
4 foot.
to the 4. Ryan Heidi up with his second shot. And
Calling for the out turn, draw.
presume they'll come down to that best red stone of Albany to simply
Sit
count 2
hopefully.
under cover. Meanwhile, Sean Cummings, I believe
Bringing
his
up-
second stone is off on sheet B. Robert Kwan's trying to push it down.
A little more weight, and he's going to catch it, but lose the shooter.
He opens up nicely.
Opens up, shooter gone. Shot, the target rock gone.
So on sheet C, Julie Granada is up.
Ryan's rock came in between the, he's in the top 12. He spread them out a little bit.
Did a nice job of it.
Let's see who shot there. I think definitely yellow shot. Now it's
They're 1 and 3,
1 and
and
3.
4.
3 and 4. So that red rock is pretty well tucked in.
And Robert
But-
Howells.
He's gonna got to be careful here, Robert. Of course, he could run the yellow back into his own and jam.
And Julie Granada is off with her first rock to try to come down to do exactly that, as is Jaspreet Kaur over on sheet B. And they're likely looking for her to either guard up or maybe
Looks
even
like a guard
split.
weight. Looks like guard weight.
Julie's stone is headed in rather nice.
Oh yeah.
And it's just going to kind of shake things up and kind of box out Yellow's ability to get to that 4 foot.
Oh, we'll see about that. That actually, yellow may have a road, an inroad to that back 12 now, and could sit 2 after this one. Nope, but they're not going that way. They're going to try for a double.
And I believe they're going to do exactly the same on sheet B. Jake Ness is asking Rob Kwan to run back that top yellow. Sheet C is off first. So we're going to focus there for a moment to see if this double is achieved.
Little wide, but little wide. Ryan's trying to move it in, move it in.
He's going to get something.
Going to get it. He might even stick around.
He did.
He got the...
Got the double. That's rather nice.
And yellow's got a lot of rocks. Oh my gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4 rocks across the top 4 line. Spread from the 12 foot on the left to the 12 foot on the right. Look at that.
Fantastic.
How'd Robert's rock end up here?
He got the top one, kept the shooter onto the 12 foot and
Yeah.
pushed it back, I believe, a little bit. Maybe he didn't even, I don't think he got the best shot, but it's now open again. And Jaspreet is being asked likely to guard this.
Oh, that's gonna tick the center guard.
Does in fact, and that's
Very
gonna
open up the middle for the hammer, but yellow's hammer, oh boy. So, Michael, your skip, hammer team. You gonna put a guard up in front of those?
well, this is your Vice's last.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look at this.
I think you draw down to it, don't you?
You're fine off the rings.
Okay.
If you put something full top 12, then they make some kind of crazy double and hit it thin and then wreck on another one. Next thing you know it, you're going from sitting 4 to maybe sitting only
Negative.
second best or
Yeah.
first, but then that's it. So this might be the shot to just guard up, make sure red doesn't get on the rings.
Because they couldn't double those 2 out in the middle.
Correct. And the more you do leave, the more options you give them to do something.
This is maybe 3, maybe 4 weight, 2, maybe 3. They're sweeping hard. It's going to curl a bit much. It's maybe it's a 1-2.
That's fine. And as that's coming down, Rob Kwan has released his second stone, and it looks
Very
like they're
gentle.
either just guarding their best.
Or a
No, I
little
think
tap.
they were trying to tap because they were only number 2.
They moved it in.
Just not enough.
Not enough, but now they're. Okay, so yellow. Which one's our yellow team here? That would be.
That's going to be Dan Pearson.
The Benino rink is sitting 4, and they did put a center guard up. So Robert Howells from Albany is coming into the hack for his first shot without hammer. Red Rocks, sheet C. Thank you. Always good to have that.
Yeah, and here's Dan Pearson's first.
Not throwing big weight at it
And
by
I
any
assume
stretch.
that's just a straight up guard.
Oh,
Meanwhile, Vinay has released his first on sheet C, and they're trying to come
I
through
don't
that
know
poor-
about this. This is not going to get very deep, and it might.
It wrecked as well.
And there's another center guard now.
That's not a huge problem, but a problem. I assume they were just, hadn't seen, I was looking at the other sheet. I assume they were trying to come down to the best shot and just sit on it,
Yeah.
which would have worked well, but unfortunately too short.
Oh, yeah. Short and a bit narrow. So, Benini going to bring it in here. Benino. This is my second game I've covered of theirs. I watched them the last evening.
So you could put one top 12 here.
Good.
Or even half 12, and just make sure you
There's no reds in the house to
sure
speak
you
of, are there?
shoulder out at least half of that fully exposed stone.
There's
and
not a
you'll be
red
good.
rock, not a red rock in the house. So anything, even if you just leave it in front of the house,
Yep.
is tap material with hammer. Very upright delivery, delivering his out turn.
And it's headed down. Meanwhile,
More weight than Mr. Howell had on his. It's got a curl, and your buddy. Oh, that's going to wreck.
on sheet B, Jake Ness is off with his first of hammer stones, and they're looking to do likely the red tap. I didn't see the final verdict, but based on the broom and what he just threw, they're
Mr.
going
Howell.
to try to make their best red, which is second now, first overall.
Chris Benini's rock wrecked on the guard, and he opened up a wide open spot. But
Jake just tapped, but I don't think by our angle it's enough.
this is going to be interesting. He can't get to shot, Howells. He can hit the yellow there. He could try drawing, just shaving by it, but he's going to be hard pressed to get shot. And if he just hits and sticks, it's going to be a wide open hit for 4.
Likely wants the
Benino.
hit and roll to be number 2.
Roll behind the guards.
And here he comes. The weight looks to be control up. Now just
No,
control.
control, and it's
they're on
wide.
it promptly.
Interesting. They're on it.
I believe that's their way of telling Vice that it's just
It's
way
very
too
light.
light.
And look at it curl. Look at it curl. Are they going to get by the guard?
If they do, it'll be
Are
a
they going to
great
get by
one.
the
They're
guard?
sweeping
They're
very
not.
hard.
They're really sweeping hard.
They're just not going to get there, Alf.
And still sitting 4. Now, how do you get in there? I guess you try the tap. You can tap the outside one. You got the whole house. You got the whole house.
So while they mitigate this, we're going to take a look at Dan Pearson's last rock from Bucks County / Plainfield Curling.
Yellow is sitting 1.
And they're happy to just guard at that.
And that will bring Jake in for his hammer.
Sweepers are just keeping it clean.
So,
And Dan seems very happy.
Chris
and he
Benino
should
is
be.
sitting 4. I think the one thing you don't want to do is leave one short. Well, you don't want to tap them in. That's the main thing. But you don't want to be short. If you're going to go at this, go at it.
And he's let it go. It's far out there in the frost.
Plenty out there. It's not going to be a problem tacking on any other team's rocks.
And I almost inclined to say they can't oversweep this, so they might as well bring it.
Here it comes. Looking good. They
just
got a biter. Oh, they got it. And there's a draw for 5 out in the 12-foot. Pretty rare to have a draw in the 12-foot for 5. or for any,
especially in a
number.
semifinal.
Yeah.
So
So that's a big jump out in front for the Bardsley Benino squad.
and they're already
5 in the first.
kicking rocks.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Robert Howells seems a little bit disappointed, but
Yep.
ready to move on. Here comes Jake Ness's hammer
Hammer
shot.
on sheet B, and he is looking at 1, and he is sitting 2-3 after that, but he's not going. He's not going to after the shot rock.
No, he's just going to
He's gonna
draw
try the
down
draw.
for 4 for 1.
Try the draw on the out turn side.
Rock is out of hand.
Looking a
Sean
little
Cummings
light.
is on it. Now Nigel is with him. And
It's a narrow.
it really cut in, too.
They're going to let it go.
And that's all right. We're still first M. But
Give up 1. A steal of 1 in the first is not the end of the world by any stretch. All right, so we're
not
up.
at all.
All right. So Chris Bernino asked for opening rock to come in, and it's coming right to the biting the forefoot. He doesn't need a guard with a lead like that. Whereas Mr. Howells is looking to have some guards. Colleen McGrath with her first rock. Now that's not going to be a guard.
No, that's going to come on the rings.
That's going to be in the back of the rings at best.
If
at best.
Able to keep it at all. And Chris is giving it a sweep toward the back.
And I think
the
that's
house.
Going to be just out the back.
Still on, I think.
Still in play, but not scoring.
Are we sure about that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
definitely.
we are.
Not
I
scoring.
just looked up.
But it is a ankle breaker. Up. Lots of spare stuff. Oh, and by the way, Michael, good to be working with you tonight.
Likewise.
Happy month of March to you. I always find if you need to see something when we stand up, we can get a much better perspective on things when the need comes.
As in right now, when Chris is standing in front of us, but Vinay looks to have a pretty good opening shot. And they look to be coming down to guard their own, and it looks like it's really good.
Chris must be getting a little chilled because he wants to sweep. I always say Skip comes out to sweep for 2 reasons. Life and death, which that was not. Skip's cold. You ever get cold in there, Mike?
Every once in a while.
In the house? You come out, sweep a little, kind of, get the juice, get the blood flowing.
The best way to warm up is to step off the ice and onto the boards.
Oh, yeah.
It's 25 or so degrees warmer.
That'll be. All right, Christine's, is it Christine McGrath? Colleen. This one looks more like a guard.
I think it might be coming out of the rings.
Might
we'll
come in. I guarantee if it's in, they're going to put the broom down for Ryan to do a takeout, and it is going in.
And on sheet B, Jaspreet has asked Michelle Sheffer to take out the nutmeg stone and roll and it is rolling nice.
In the forefoot.
Not undercover, but a very good lie regardless. Chris has just asked Ryan Heidi.
Oh, we're going to take this out.
To take that out and roll over to center.
Going out.
Nigel Lucas is off first on sheet B with.
All right, we got an Albany fan in the house.
Keith Tigert.
Keith, first end didn't work out for you so well, but you know what? There's a lot of curling ahead of us. Meanwhile, on the television, the rivalry of Ohio State, Michigan, by way of the Red Wings versus the Columbus Blue Jackets playing in the Big Horseshoe in Columbus, Ohio at the football stadium. And a double.
No, Ryan Heidi unfortunately shot over curled and missed the top rock, but it did peel the biter at the back, prompting Rob Howells to, I think, come down to the shot rock and corner it, or
no? He's
playing the corner. See where he tapped. He's playing the corner again.
Is he playing for a guard, a tap, or draw behind?
No,
he's indicating it's wide.
No, he was just looking for, as you said, looking for the corner.
Holding his broom out to the right. It's not curling much. Here it comes.
He wanted to go around it.
Most of our curl is after the hog line. And here it comes.
He'll end up back 4, but open.
I think Ryan's going to be coming for this. Might go for the top one.
And as I look over, Jake Ness is asking Sean Cummings to
remove,
to peel that corner guard.
All right, I'm going to take a short break myself here and get my beverage of choice. Give me a second. Get a fresh one for you.
I'll take a Diet Coke, please. Sean Cummings is off with a down hit peel to take that yellow corner. Or maybe rise. No, they're just raising it. And they did raise and get the shot rock, but jammed right to it. So they're looking at the same scenario, although now they've got a red rock. The outcry you just heard here in the Nutmeg Lounge was unfortunately Ryan Heidi's second shot also did not make the mark, over curled, and they went right by Team Howells. So now Team Howells is going to look to come down either behind Nutmeg's best, Ardsley's best, and just draw to the button. Looks like it's got a lot of ways to curl. And on sheet B, Bucks/Plainfield has just placed one into the back four, which Jake Ness immediately prompted to ask Sean Cummings to make the double. And it looks like we're going to get the same order up on sheet C because the Howells rock came fairly deep and only about a half to 2/3 of a stone from the shot behind it. So Chris Benino is asking Dan Gerlach to play the double, or at least to remove one. And they are coming rather thin on this. And this should work out really, really well. He peeled the top. Not a bad lie because they're still sitting number one under cover. And Robert Howells has asked Julie Granata to come down and corner to the top of it. As over on sheet B, Jaspreet Kaur and Dan Pearson are discussing what they're going to do with, I think it's her first rock. They're considering putting it on the wing under cover. Or maybe under their own center guard under cover and leaving the back four open. Albany's shot is coming in on sheet C rather nicely to guard up their best rock. And bringing into about biting the 8 foot, leaving just the run, if anything, for Chris Benino. Dan Gerlach is up for his second, as Jaspreet will be likely to deliver first. She was in the hack a few seconds earlier, and here she comes with, I believe, a down hit. No, they're going to just guard their shot rock. Vinay Goenka is sweeping furiously to make this double, and while they didn't double, they got the back rock out and the top rock to the back 8 and are sitting one under a good cover. That's a great shot, Vinay, and a very good outcome. Thank you, sir. Oh, you got some pasta. Good for you. And on sheet B, Jake Ness is going to just peel that center guard. Just as Julie Granata is up with her second. And Robert Howells is looking to maybe hit that
So a double,
top 12 skinny and try to double it, but at minimum you want to open that up.
and they opened it. Nice try. They got the run in the right direction, but didn't quite take it out.
Yeah, they've got the raise or the tap in their favor because now it's their shade. And oh goodness,
Robert standing in disbelief. Look at him.
as he went through a 15-inch port with a 14-inch
round.
stone. I don't think he hit anything And by the sounds of the lounge, yeah, it literally had a half inch on each side.
And Robert just
Maybe
stared
not.
in disbelief.
Matt Gallegos is saying maybe not. So maybe he put a 14-inch stone through a 14 and a half inch port, but that was tight on both sides. So Jaspreet Kaur is now off with her second. And as they're sitting numbers 1 and 2 in the top and rear four,
Without hammer.
they are super content to just place a mid guard as Chris Benino is out with his first.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's going to hit this
Back rock.
Albany rock in
Back
the back,
8.
but it's just not getting there.
No,
Ryan
it's not.
Heidi was
No, it's
asked
not.
to push. And if
And it
we're going to
didn't do
pick a time to miss, that's probably not a horrible time.
No, it could have been worse.
Yep. Especially given the current situation on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Alf's going to get a little pasta in him. Jake Ness again going to peel the center guard that those guys just put up from Buck/Plainfield. And Sean Cummings has got it. Shooter's gone, guard is gone.
So Tyler and Keith are suggesting that maybe Howells needs to call a timeout and get a delivery out on the ice, if you know what I mean.
A beverage delivery?
A beverage delivery, yes. Tyler, you're a wise man. Wise man.
As long as it goes in a plastic container, anything's permissible.
What the visitors may not know, and actually not many members know, in our score bar, in the box with all our scorecard numbers, is a little green card. And rumor has it that was traditionally for an indicator that we need a beverage order.
Also, your parents were here today.
On sheet C, that's a pretty nice peel with a good lie outcome.
Now, Mr.
Nothing
Benini
jammed,
wants to.
nothing trickled off anything else. So everything's wide open again on sheet C.
So, Mr. Benini is looking for the proper guard of sitting second shot, because there are a couple of reds biting up top of the house.
I think they're going for the hit.
Yeah, they're going for the hit and sit 1 and 2. But you don't want to leave it in a situation where it's possible to do a double.
He's going for the hit, and I like that.
Oh, yeah.
They're still deliberating over on sheet B, so we'll take a pause on that because Chris is out with his last. And it looks to be control, pretty good weight.
Liking the line,
liking it too, and I'm thinking.
Oh, it's going to start to curl now. Here it comes.
I'm thinking they should go a little harder than they're going. And there is Vinay, and now they're up, and they look like about nose. Skip's gotten away.
Yeah, right about nose.
Yep.
Very quiet takeout weight. I think it's a tough double.
For anybody
Not
watching,
impossible.
I know people frequently ask, what's the perfect control weight? That was it right there. That allows the shooting rock to, even if it hits off center, to stay on the rings, especially in the back of the house. And it took that rock in the back 8/12 and put it only about 2 stones over the back line, which is essentially, as we say, all you need, nothing you don't. As the weight goes up, the likelihood that you can keep your shooter in the rings will decrease. Sean Cummings and Nigel Lucas over on sheet B are really sweeping the heck
And it's not
out of Jake's
and it's light.
first.
And it's light. And it's light.
Fortunately came up shy, which is still leaving the 2 shots
3. Oh, 2, yes.
by Bucks/Plainfield under
You think
well
they're gonna,
undercover.
You think they're going to knock those out? Oh, they want to take it out in
Jaspreet's calling for a big pressure move. Yeah, they're going to take the best and sole nutmeg shot off of the rings.
and he has to
And
roll
if
under.
they stick, they'll have 4 on the ring.
And even if he rolls out, it's
Very advantageous.
very
Sure.
advantageous. They don't want to leave it right there. They called for the roll in.
Some argue more advantageous, Alf, because as it goes sometimes, especially when you're post tee, if you sit in the wrong spot, you could leave an easy double or just a really good spot for them to sit down. So yeah, it would be terrible Stealing 3 is
Hello,
pretty
we
much
have a measurement.
the next best thing to stealing 4 is stealing 3, and that's
And they got the hit and a little roll.
okay. That is an
Whoa.
elementary shot.
That's a top shelf shot.
Wow. They went for it, and they paid off.
So are we
Shooter
measuring
is-
for one
oh.
here or the second point on C? For the second point.
I did not see what they indicated, Alf. I was watching
You're
that
watching
whole
the other
thing
one.
break down. Yeah,
Boy,
appropriately so.
Jake's in a spot of bother here. Spot of bother. And the
Yeah.
measurement is going to indicate it is red.
Okay, so that wraps up second end.
It's a time waster. He's only trying to get
Jake Ness and Robert Kwan are still talking through what they're going to do with this hammer, and it's a big one. And I think where Jake's indicating is probably best because they
You don't want to give up 4.
probably looking at giving one here is
Would be a moral victory.
major. And
Major victory.
yeah, they're going to go with some down weight and maybe push that
gonna-
corner guard
Yeah.
to the button.
Yeah,
From here, it looks like they can't crash on the number 1 and count, but they could skinny by the second best Bucks playing field shot and maybe be number 2, and that would be a major moral victory, like you said. So first shot's off on sheet C. It does roll on to the rings and going right about to the back 4. Here comes Jake Ness with hammer. He's got a beautiful delivery.
so that measurement was for 1. So Albany picks up 1 in the second end, so they're down 1-5. And Sean is sweeping. Now Nigel is sweeping. And the tap
that's a
up.
pretty
Oh
good
my
tap
word, look
by
at this
Jake
tap.
Ness.
Whoa!
And I believe he got the number 1 shot.
Whoa! That was an amazing shot. He is staring the end of this tournament in his right down his
That
eyes.
was fantastic, Jake Ness. Is anybody out there?
The Albany fan club is big here tonight. Coming at you from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Good to have you from Albany. Hope to be up there curling soon.
So for those, where's the counter on that timestamp, Alf? That's one well worthwhile going back to rewatch later, especially if you're Jake or his teamies.
Yeah.
What is the clock on that? See if
We don't have a clock on it here. We don't see a clock. You got to check it.
Yep.
That's
That's true.
What do you got?
There is no clock because it's live.
It's live. Oh boy.
So it
Well,
looks
it's
like
at the end of 2 ends, so I'd say, oh look, it was 100 minutes. Hold on, I'll tell you.
Looks like Laura Bennett's in the house.
30.
What's up, Laura?
33 minutes.
Welcome.
Laura's out watching. Hey, Laura.
Yep, she says Nutmeg fans are here. Alf.
Yeah. Hey, Laura. What's up? Let's go, McGill.
There we go.
Thank you.
With Alf and his McGill.
This stuff's good. Somebody made it strong enough. No,
Alf's having a black coffee.
my coffee fest.
Sheet C, we saw Vinay Kawenka put a back house bump to knock the Albany Rock off the rings, and from here looks like actually about 2/3 undercover. So Robert Howells is asking Joe Grimaldi to come down and either sit on it, although with the broom and what he threw, they're probably likely looking to bump as well.
I'd say it's a light bump.
Light bump is accurate.
Oh no, it's a little
It's
light.
really
It's going to
cutting,
curl.
though.
It's going to curl.
And yeah, I don't. they're
No, it's
gonna
not a
get
bump.
there.
Not a bump at all.
They're not going to get there on line or weight, but over on sheet B, Nigel Lucas has just.
No, they're going to get it in the house.
got it in there,
They're bringing it. Look at that sweeping.
and Robert Kwan.
Oh, he locked it. Oh man, he's inches from locked on.
just
He
edged
shot.
out.
So it's shot.
Are they?
Yeah, yeah. Red shot on sheet C.
Meanwhile, on B, Nigel Lucas made a thin hit to take the other only stone of
Did he-
Bucks/Plainfield off of the rings.
Did he lose his shooter?
Shooter did lose it. It only caught by about an inch or so.
Don't forget, it's also Diamond City from Delaware.
On the Bucks Plainfield team?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Bucks Plainfield Diamond.
Diamond State. All right, Ryan Heidi.
He looks like he's
That's
just
narrow.
coming down to.
No, it's not narrow. They're sweeping it from the
Yeah,
curl side.
Vinay's looking to push that. He's on it all by himself. Chris is obviously coaching him to do it, and
He caught it. Oh
They
my
got
gosh,
it.
he got it.
and
Lost the shooter, but
shooter's off the ring, but
I think that's all he could hope for.
of course.
Hey,
And Joe Grimaldi's going to be asked to do the same
do the
as
same
prior.
shot. Yeah.
And Sean Cummings is up
Hold
on
on here.
sheet
Hold
B.
on here, Skip. Let's get a stopwatch on this. Let's see what speed we're dealing
Go
with here.
for it. I did not see the call of Sean Cummings because there was a row of sweepers lined up in between sheets, but it looks like they are trying to curl around the sole guard of their opponent.
Oh, this one's going to be narrow. It's hard to get a precise time from the back. I got a
Actually,
387.
from here, it looks pretty good, Alfred.
I got a
As long as it's-
387.
As long as it's deep enough, it's still clear of the guard. It's
Clear
right
the
in
guard,
front of me.
coming right to it. Going to come right down on it, just like the last one. Look at that.
What is it over curling? Hard to say, but I think yellow's still shot, but that's still helpful for red.
Kate
because-
Lucas. Hey, Kate, how you doing? Kate liked
Kate.
Jake's. She liked Jake's shot.
Where do you see Kate Lucas? Ah,
Who knows? That could be.
that's a Cassandra.
Get your glasses on.
Welcome, Cassandra.
Cassandra. Hey.
Oh, gotcha. Kate Lucas is in there.
Yep.
Hey, Kate, how are you?
Okay, Ryan Heidi again.
He's up with his second rock, and they're trying to do the same thing they just did prior, which is to bump that stone off of the top four, or maybe even just corner to it. They're definitely going to come down.
They're
It looks
trying to
like
shave
the
it.
bump.
They're trying to
It's
shave it.
gonna
Oh,
look-
this one's. He got it
and
again,
that
but
is
this one's going
beautiful.
to stick around. No, nope, just
and
out.
that's
Hold on.
fine.
That's
because-
fine. Two great shots, Brian.
Yeah, that was two great shots, and that's
Two.
very helpful to get that rock
Boy,
off the top four.
They're going to do it again. How much do you have to do to make it work?
Well, it's like a game of peeling guards, only they're peeling shots in the 4 foot. And looks like Colleen McGrath is off with her last. Oh, sorry, that's
Nope.
Julie Granada.
No, that's Julie.
That's
And
her first.
Same line again. Oh, this one's coming a little hotter.
And it's
This
also
one's going to move the yellow.
seems to be curling an awful lot.
Gonna
but
move
they
the
got
yellow.
by the guard,
Going to move the yellow.
and they will pump back and lie number one. That's a fantastic shot, Julie Granada.
But now they can come at it. Don't have to shave it quite as tight. And they might be able to keep the shooter around.
And on sheet B, Bucks
Nobody in the-
Plainfield Diamond is asking Dan Pearson to draw undercover, which he does, but he's gone
Way
pretty
back.
deep. Jake Ness helps it back to a full 12 foot, though it is undercover, and for the time being, it is shot number one.
Tie game, right?
Robert Kwan coming up on B, and Dan Gerlach with his first on sheet C, so we're going to hop over there for a second.
I think it's narrow. I may be wrong here.
I believe you're right, and he is likely to clip the guard,
Or
but
to
that's
peel it.
going
Now,
to
what's it going to do when it hits the yellow one out there?
nothing.
Yes, oh, no, not
Little bounce
nothing.
back.
Little bounce back, yeah.
And what a bounce back.
Robert,
Albeit leaving a double, he is now sitting 1 and 2.
but
It's gonna,
Red's going to throw first.
and it's also going to change the cycle of that same
Yeah,
shot
yeah.
back and forth now with the guard gone.
Now they're going to put a guard up, maybe.
Robert's asking Julie to likely stay off the rings.
Robert Kwan's shot goes a little over the tee line. Wow, it carried all the way to the back, but he's in front of the first shot. This is on sheet B. So Robert Kwan with red on Jake's team is now sitting one. They will not have hammer. There's a couple of center guards, just off center guards.
And Joe Grimaldi and Colleen McGrath are sweeping Julie Granada's guard, and it's going to be a rather good one. I'm right behind the whole alignment, and that looks rather nice.
Yep.
Well done, team.
Might be able to come inside out at it. Might consider peeling it, I would say, though.
So now Dan Pearson's asking
And he's going inside out.
Jaspreet to curl around the nutmeg red guard.
And out count Roberts' rock that's frozen up on.
And would you say that's a full back 8? It seems
Yeah.
to be on our monitor. Jaspreet seems to have T plus weight.
That one's a little
We
heavier.
shall see, but it looks like it's of no issue with the guard. No indication to ask these guys to sweep, and they're also not sweeping it for distance.
Oh, we got a peel here on C.
Dan Gerlach,
Doink.
well, that actually could be of some help later.
Yeah. All right. So she brought it right on top. So Robert's going to do it again. We're going to stack them up behind the tee line. They're getting closer. Well, not really. They're barely to the 8 foot.
If they continue with this, they will eventually stack those rocks until someone's right up to the pin.
Uh-huh.
And looks like they won't be shooting for a while on sheet C, so we're going to hop over to sheet B with Robert just about set to deliver. Jake's got the broom down. Nigel and Sean are on their clocks.
Ready.
Robert comes out with great draw form, releases a nice one.
This is one he's
They
not
gave
going
it
to
a
follow.
little bit of brush for now. but
Sometimes
they-
Robert follows his shots down on foot. This one he's sliding along with it.
He's just watching.
And this is a beauty. This is a
And
beauty.
It's cutting in
It's a
rather
beauty.
nice.
It's a beauty. Here it comes. Sean's giving it some curl, letting Jake finish it.
And they're about
On the
Tee
button,
line.
just back it four, back four. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Robert Howells has released his first, and it's coming in pretty nice. Got by the guard, and he's probably
Gonna
going
chip
to
something out.
corner his second best. Splits it, in fact.
Ooh, but that leaves
Kinda
a little
left
catcher's mitt
double,
there.
and he gave himself a little bit of a broom shake.
He's got one on the top four,
He's left the double. I'm sitting right behind
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's
and
unfortunate.
then his second shot, the one in the middle, is just behind the tee line.
And Jaspreet Kaur is off with her final stone.
Now Robert didn't stack up with them, and he is on the button now. Is he buried enough they can't get to it?
I, from this angle, think they could, and it looks like that is certainly what they are doing.
Is she coming up light? Coming up light?
Both John and Michelle are on it firmly,
Coming up light.
and it just did come up light.
Top 8. Look at the 8 foot.
That does actually help protect their own in the event that they can unlock their best, so that's not a bad outcome. Cassandra
We got a
saying
shout
hello,
out.
Rachel.
We got a shout out to Rachel here.
We don't have a Rachel on the
Playing.
ice, though, Alf.
No.
So there must be a Rachel in the.
All right, what happened here over
Viewing.
on what happened on C? Some rocks got cleared away.
I didn't notice because sweepers were kind of impeding our view.
Red, yellow's 1, red is 2, sort of.
I don't think necessarily,
Yellow-
Alf. I think red
Yeah.
might be one from our above monitor.
Well, guess what?
Yellow's 2-3 likely.
Howell is going to take that yellow out, I think.
Oh, most definitely.
Almost definitely. You're right. Red may be shopping up, and he may be 1-2 after a few moments here. A nice split. That'll be good for a deuce, maybe.
Sure, and if he
Of course, he's got.
hits it and rolls a half a stone to the outside,
Yeah.
Yellow's going to have to draw.
Yeah.
Although something tells me he's looking to even maybe roll closer to cover because
Or even
given the
onto
score,
the yellow.
he doesn't want to just give them a
No. This is
wide
gonna,
open
he's going to
draw.
lose. This is going to get lost, I think.
No, he's okay, I think.
Did he nudge the
He
yellow
actually
out?
did. He doubled.
Wow.
So
Very
now
nice.
he's got 2 under cover, and that's actually the most perfect outcome.
Well,
he-
this is
he could have
and this
hoped.
is hammer now.
Yep, and the scoring zone is actually not that big. It's about 4.5 feet, it seems, from here. So Chris has to be sharp
Draw the 4. Draw the 4 foot.
because
He has a backer. Sorta.
he could give a steal of 2, and
Could.
all of a sudden a 5-0 game becomes 5-3.
Yeah.
So let's see. We got something big.
Rachel's in the chat. We got a Rachel in the chat. Okay, well,
Yep, that's what I figured. Dan Pearson on sheet B is looking to do something big here because Jaspreet has the broom right on the edge of the red rock at the top.
He let some
And-
weight go at it.
Yep, some big time weight, and they're looking to shake things up. But we're going to go back to C because
Yep.
this is a big draw for Chris
You
Benino.
know, it's not light, I'll tell you that.
Ryan-
Not light. Oh, and this is not narrow either.
They do have some backer if necessary. and
I'm
it's
afraid
starting
there's
to-
not. I'm afraid there's nothing
it's
going to
going
back this.
toward it.
Here it comes. Here it
I
comes.
think
It's
they're
checking
all
down.
right, Alf.
It's checking down.
I think they're all right.
It is all right. It never even reached the backer. Very nice draw.
Well, is that shot rock? They're kick it, so we
kick it,
assume so.
yeah.
So that looks like
That's a skip. Draw.
one for
Looking
Team
at-
Ardsley.
Looking at 2. Draw it in. No problem.
And instead of a potential 5-3, now it's 6-1. That's how quick your game can swing on you.
Yep.
So here comes Jake now looking to make likely a.
What are we looking at?
I believe it's a button to pin draw, and it's definitely draw.
Oh, he's
weight.
already sitting one on the
So
pin.
he may just be guarding.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely a guard. Nigel and Sean are indicating
Robert's running out to help sweep.
they may not make this.
I think they're over. They're over.
It is hard to tell from here. Looks like they did it.
They are. Whoa.
Oh, I don't know, Alf. They're all looking at it.
They're letting
and
it
they're
go.
walking away,
Yeah.
and that helps.
Oh boy. that is over by the slimmest of margins.
So we'll.
All right, we got a guard here, and yes, they got the center line. Now, that's important because they are playing the tick rule this tournament, and the tick rule means that during the free guard 5 rock thing, a team cannot knock the other team's rock off the center line. If they do, they can replace it and take out the offending rock, or, correct me if I'm wrong, they can decline the penalty.
They can. That just happened to us this Tuesday.
Might
Let's
turn out to be
let's
an
hone
advantage.
in on sheet B, Alf. Dan Pearson on his skip rock. I guess
He's got a draw. Not much to go at, but
just trying to get down to the button.
yeah, true. He has to get around those yellow guards.
John Gephardt is sweeping pretty hard.
Wow, that's a lot of sweeping.
And Michelle's on that with him too, and they
They're
did
by the,
get
wa-
by
they're
the
by
top.
the one, but all
They
that
are
sweeping might be
heading in.
that might be a little extra weight on it.
Did they in fact cook it?
They had to.
Yeah,
they
it
had
was
to
just
cook
a
it.
little deep, but that's okay too. They give up,
Give up
just the
Yeah,
one.
just the one. All right.
Dan still seems in rather good spirits. He's out there smiling a lot tonight. Over on sheet C, Ryan first, and then
No, Ryan's still sweeping.
Dan next.
Oh, they tucked it right around that guard. Look
Sure
at this,
did.
going back
And
4
that's,
though.
off the hand of Vinay.
Yeah, back 4, maybe back 8.
Back 8, but it's a pretty darn good one.
Pretty good.
Maybe just took it a little too deep, but it's in a fine position as
Yeah,
it
they had
lies.
it, you got to sweep it by that guard, so you got to give up something there.
We'll hone in on this for a bit while they're getting the first rocks out on sheet B.
Colleen, this is Colleen, right?
Yes, it is. Colleen McGrath. They're asking to place up the typical,
Go by the corner guard.
go around it, and from here I can't really tell, but it looks
They're
like
by
it's,
it.
they're by, and it looks like it's a real darn good one too.
Is Joe Grimaldi going to touch it? No, go with
Nope.
the skip handle there.
Just a tiny bit at the end,
noticed.
perfectly buried, and just about biting the 4.
I
That's a
was-
great spot.
I was talking we were having a little sweeping clinic the other day, and I noted a lot of our curlers, sweepers, tend to stop at the top of the house on whatever the shot is. I don't know if you noticed that as a skip. I don't know if the thought is, all right, the skip will take it the last couple of feet, but a lot of them just, boom, top 12 circle, and they stop.
Well, assuming they are, and it's my team, I would hope they would
You'll-
ask rather than imply. Because when I see them come up, I assume they think it's far enough. And of course, that's under the assumption I'm to the opinion it has been swept enough
You're all
for
together.
line. But yeah, if they say, hey, we're tired because we've swept it the whole way, or hey,
Yep.
take it the rest of the way, which happy to do.
Ryan has a nice looking rock here. He's knifing it in. I think it's going to miss, though, isn't it?
Did unfortunately,
Just
it
slid
skinnied
by.
by the guard, and then it subsequently
Slid
skinny
through.
by the number 1.
Slid through the house.
Well thrown, it just didn't get there. So Robert Howells is therefore saying,
Got one.
hey, Joe,
go two.
let's come around and put a second one in on the top 4. Meanwhile, on sheet B, there's 2 rather burdensome center red guards up there,
Yeah.
placed
Well,
by
they're
Nutmeg.
they're easy to peel if need be.
Although, for the time being, and actually because they're free guards, Jaspreet has no other
True.
recourse than to
Go around them.
ask Michelle to come down behind their own corner guard.
Joe Grimaldi's drawing down onto the yellow rock in the back 8, and he's going to put it right on the pin, I'd say. What do you think?
Biting 4.
Fighting 4, sitting
fine
1
enough.
and 2.
Uh,
Peel the guard.
Hard to tell. Let's take a peek on the monitors. Yeah, I'd
1
say
and 2.
he's sitting 1 and 2.
Going to peel the center guard now.
Smart, especially when you're up by 5.
Hold it. He's thinking. He's thinking.
Well, they think we've got Sean Cummings coming
Two
out
guard-
and around
Where's
the
what
2
happened to
center
the,
guards.
what happened to the yellow rocks? One's out.
Yes. That must have gone through.
I only see one. The number 2. Oh, there's a 1. There's a corner guard way up out of sight. It's
Yes.
behind Mr. Howell.
Yeah, I think
something
Robert's
happened here.
blocking your view.
Something happened here.
Ryan Heidi with the red on red rays.
Yeah.
He gets the number
Interesting.
1
They-
and really just makes it replaced with another new number
Yeah.
1. I would say a big advantage Albany, especially with the rock in hand. So
Oh, yeah.
Robert is contemplating coming down to sit on top or to corner his best.
Yep. Or
I
or
like
top.
where he just tapped at the end,
Top.
biting the 12. No need to get too aggressive here. He's still well in this match to take
you're
2.
You're down 6-1. It's
But you don't want to give up a double or
No,
even, heaven
no.
forbid, a triple, right? So
well, this is going more than top 12, I'd say.
yeah, I think so. It's going to come down to make contact.
Okay, all you Albany viewers, take a look. Here it comes. We're gonna zoom in on the house.
And while you're doing that, John Geppert over on sheet B was just trying to do a multiple peel of the 3 Nutmeg red guards. Unfortunately, only got 1 plus the shooter.
And we'll
Jake's still in a pretty good situation there with rock in hand, and he's got Sean Cummings on his second. He's asking Sean to come down around and likely sit top 4. We'll get back to that because Dan Gerlach is up on sheet C with his first of what's going to be a very important shot
go. Calling
here.
for a takeout.
Yep,
Want to get the inside roll?
you sure do.
Sure do.
And with that broom, it's going to be
Yeah,
down
especially you
weight.
don't want to jam on the yellow.
Ryan
in the back.
Heidi pushing it because it did seem to perhaps come out just
All
a
right,
touch
and we are going
narrow.
to. We're going to. Oh, it's
It's going to be.
on the guard.
I actually straightened it out too much, so now Vinay's going to overcorrect. It's going to be really,
Oh,
really good.
look at that. Beautiful. I was looking at B. Yeah. Perfect.
Dan's shot had the perfect down weight, took back
the
the
roll.
object,
Great.
rolled himself under Red's now best stone, which is,
Yeah.
really going to give them no option but to unlock that and hopefully not jam, which it looks like it could probably steer through.
Let's look at the
Time will
overhead there.
tell.
Yeah, it might catch that.
While they're setting
Yeah,
up for that,
those 2 rocks are touching, so if it's hit in a certain way, it could have a drag effect
Yep.
and jam right on that red one.
now at the same time, John Geppert's coming out with bigger weight, so he's going to actually show up in the frame first. Jaspreet's looking to peel 2 Nutmeg guards plus shooter and actually gets all 3 Nutmeg guards out of the way, 2 off the sheet.
And there's the jam.
And that's a beautiful shot.
That's a nice.
A little bit of a jam, but that's fine because it
Red
looks like
sitting
Red's
1.
still sitting the 1 and unlocked, and push that back to the back 8, and it'll never be closer to the 4-foot again. That did leave Chris Benino an option to, as he's looking at right now, likely come right between the eyes on the 2 red rocks.
There are a lot of jams back there, though.
You know, I don't mind that though, Alf,
Yeah.
because especially if it's on the one on the
Center.
our left-hand side,
oh.
it's still able to be dealt with, and it's still also full 8 at best.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see a way that they could jam on the best yellow
Got
rock
anything
on
in the house
center
over
line.
on B right now?
Looks like not.
So we've got an empty house, a
Although
couple of
something's coming
extraneous
in.
guard. Robert's
Robert
first
Kwan
rock.
is going T-line undercover.
T-line.
And there's the finish you were talking about, although I
Yep.
think Jake just took the initiative knowing that he wanted that to
Yep.
be
Right there.
buried as much as possible.
And not deeper.
And north of the tee, and he got both, and he did a great job on
All right,
that.
here comes a rock. We're going to zoom in. We're going to zoom in on this. Take a look. We're on sheet C here.
It looks like he's only going to get the
Outer one.
outer one on
No
the
roll
nose.
either.
No
No roll.
roll. Rolled a bit to the outside, but that's still something he could use later on.
So you can see, we're going to back it up. I always put it back on the double view, but we like to zoom in and get a good look, especially when we're coming home, because we do have that single overhead view. It's the only one we have. Next year. Folks, come back next year.
So Julie Granada's up on sheet C, and Robert Howells is asking her to hit that open Ardsley stone and then flop over toward the inside to either form a nice little Christmas tree, box out that side from a would-be apparent draw, as John Kepper and Michelle Sheffer are sweeping furiously on sheet B to stay by that guard.
And they didn't.
They didn't,
Get by it. They're
although
going to roll
they
in.
rolled
They're going to
on
roll in.
and they opened up.
They open it up,
So
for
it's
sure.
something of purpose.
All right, here comes a rock in.
And Dan Pearson seems actually pretty
Going for the
content
tap.
with that.
Going for the tap here.
And
Going
I
for the
cannot
tap.
see. I've got at least 3 bodies in front of me.
All right, he made a nice tap to the tee line. Sitting 1 still. Tell you, there's a combo here for a double.
There certainly is. And they're going to that
They're
immediately. and
going
not
for the
looking-
math on that one.
Not
Yes, sir.
looking for anything else. Robert Kwan in the hack for his second on sheet B.
Mm-hmm.
Jake's asking for a inside line out hit and maybe roll back a stone or two, or even nose it. Get themselves a defensive split.
I'm sorry, I missed Robert's delivery, so we're going to zoom in on it now.
It was nice. I
As
did see it.
Jake's watching it. You're going to see it coming right down the middle at you.
Actually,
Oh boy, Sean's pushing. Sean's
I
pushing.
don't know if they have a piece.
They got a piece. Very
But-
tiny. Oh, and the other one's going to stick around and be second shot.
And
No.
Robert
Nope, rolled out.
did roll out.
Ah.
That one just didn't cut very well.
Well, hold on. We are changing up on our call here on sheet C.
Looks like it. So while they're
Robert's rock is wide open,
I
and there
didn't
is a
see
yellow.
what
There is
they
a
call it.
yellow biter.
Dan Pearson is asking Jaspreet to hit the redstone and I assume roll under those guards. John and Michelle are on it really hard, doing a real good job to hold it. I think they're getting the inside of it, but they got enough to move it. Left themselves wide open, but they do
Wide
have
open.
a split on B. It's a pretty good outcome.
Whose hammer going to be?
And Chris Benino just let go of his first. Vinay and Ryan are on it pretty hard. They just want to,
Want to get
cover up
by
that
the guard and cover. They got to go.
actually, they want to get down
They gotta
the
go.
button, but
They gotta go.
They
Oh,
just
boy.
don't have enough.
They got to get. They're not by that
They're
guard.
going to click on the guard, which is not horrible. Again, given the score, they're sitting second best.
Yeah, that's true. They can't. They can't get to that second rock very easily now.
And you know what? They
Howells can tap that in.
Yeah, if they force the one, they're still up 4 with the hammer in the 5th end. Well in control of the scoreboard and the match. So back over on B, Robert Kwan has the broom only about 4 or so inches off the wide open Bucks Plainfield Diamond State stone, and Jake's going to come out likely with normal to just down weight. Looks pretty good.
Let's have a look. We're going to zoom in close here and get an eyeball on it so we can really see the roll.
Being that the
Does he want to
yellow
roll?
stone is on the 12, they probably want to try to roll under those guards. But again, they curled a lot too, and they left the very same. There's a wide open stone for yellow to hit, and Jaspreet is saying, yeah, let's hit it with
Let's
some
hit it.
down weight and go back 8 under cover, and that would be a great spot to be.
Okay, rocks away on C for Mr. Howell. He wants to try tapping it up to get that second point.
I don't know if they're going to avoid over curling. I'm right behind it, and they are going to over curl.
All right, let's bring it in close. Let's bring it in close
They're
here.
going to click that guard just barely.
No, they click that guard a
And
lot.
unfortunately, cut a little more than they had hoped. The sweepers were on it super hard, so just unfortunate. Over curled. Looked like he was on the mark for the delivery. But over on B, Dan Pearson's coming out for his open hit.
Here he comes for the open hit. Nice delivery. Let's zoom in on the house.
Nobody's sweeping yet, and we don't see any indication to call for it.
Fair normal weight.
Now all
Now
of a
they're on
sudden
it.
they're on it.
Oh boy, that's a.
Well, they've got it.
No, they
No, they
don't.
did
Oh,
not.
and not only that, it came. They're working it.
Geez, you almost wonder if it hit something and jumped offline, because from this angle it looked like it was gonna about nose it, and it.
Well, here we go. We are looking at some weird science on C. He's definitely thinking about trying that double.
I need to look up because I've got a row of
Yep,
bodies
a lot
in
of
front of
bodies.
me. A little chat going on in here. I hear Mr. Simeon. Those guys are talking some strategy.
I think they got a card game going.
Everyone else is pretty quiet. I don't know what's going on.
They got a card game. You know, the buck a card for the points.
Sitting here with Colin Kasperwitz right next to us.
Colin?
He just chucked some deuces out, everybody.
You got two
And,
red or two yellow?
These viewers, we still got about 24 people here. Everybody's pretty mellow, I'm surprised.
Yeah, for a Saturday night in Bridgeport. Come
they're-
on, people, whoop it up. Let's go.
They're into these matches.
Hillary's looking good. She got her win earlier.
She's chuckling about that.
They set some goals for the day, and they surpassed them by the third end.
Brian Walker on hand, Sharon Gallegos, Joe Pinella. Pretty much everybody that just got off.
Yeah.
Brian Kimmy's here, Brian
All
Tully.
right, they're not going for the double.
No, they're not.
They're not. Are they trying to?
Force one and hit the number one stone in the back 12.
Is this hammer?
Unless he's just drawing. Nope, he's drawing because I can tell by the handle. He's just
All right.
drawing for the 8 foot for one.
Yep.
And that'll tie things up
And the
assuming this
rocks
delivers.
away.
It looks pretty good.
All right, everybody have a look. Here, dealing with sheet B,
I
right in
might
the
give
center.
it some because I don't think it's deep.
Center of your screen. Here it comes, right into your view.
You know what? They're fine. Maybe go a little now just for safekeeping.
Oh no, that's going back
And
out.
John Geppert knows he's good. He's real good. They swept it beautifully.
Right to the 4 foot.
to that
Boom.
top four for the force. After 4 ends, Bucks, Plainfield, Diamond State, 2,
Tie.
Nutmeg 4, team number 4 that is, also has 2, and Nutmeg to have hammer in the 5th.
And there's been a steal each and a single force each.
And how
So,
are we doing on time, Alpha? I'm reading 38.
38 minutes.
So
That's,
sheet B is okay. Sheet C maybe
yeah, they're
not.
okay. This is hammer, I believe.
It is hammer.
So they got 19 minutes to get 2 ends in.
And
19 minutes each end.
so what are we looking at here? They just still
They're
took
not-
their
they're
2.
not-
They may measure. They're looking. It's at least 1 red, so
I'll go with 2, but
we know that Albany has scored 1. It's a matter of whether they've scored 2. 2 would certainly put them right back in this match. They're not kicking. They're kicking the shot. That's typical for.
they're going to measure. Fortunately, the measuring device is right here,
Yep.
right next to the.
Ryan Heidi's got his little Lawrence Taylor Super Bowl trophy shirt on. Sporting rather nicely his Ardsley Duck Argyle pants. And I'm not sure what's on his hat.
Ardsley Curling Club.
So Dan's awaiting Julie to
So
bring in.
you hear our my plan for a curling team.
I did not.
I've come up
Should
with
be interesting.
I've come up with an idea. They got the Bryans, right? Well, this new team's going to be. You can call me Al.
I see what you did there, Alf.
Alf. What else?
There's
Who else could
certainly
be on?
no
Who else could be on that team?
Alfonso, Alpheus, Albert, Alan.
Alistair.
Oh, I see what you did there.
You
You're getting cute on us, aren't you?
Alexander DiGiorgio. And Alex Kopp or Alex Rekovich. Nobody's
Oh,
name
that's
is
true.
nobody's name is
Alexander.
no one's name is Al, but you can call us Al.
Looks like
What was it?
the big outburst here. It was yellow, so for Albany, unfortunately, they just take the one.
Mm-hmm.
They are down 4 after 4, and
Should've-
Ardsley has the hammer.
I should have had the I should have had the close up on that, but we didn't. All right, rocks away for Nigel Lucas, fifth end. We got 35 minutes to get 2 ends in.
Should be enough, although
Should be, unless action
let's
gets
keep
slow.
your eye on sheet B because it is A, it's a tight match, and B, that could lead to additional think
So,
time.
a lot of thinking.
Yep.
And this is not think time curling. This
Especially
is
if rocks
a
accumulate.
running clock. All right, first rock here on C is a high guard.
But a
Very,
good- but a
very
good one.
high.
Assuming it, oh gosh, it did not make it.
Very, very high.
So we've got a hog on sheet C, Vinay Gowenka with stone in hand, and no surprise, Chris Benino is saying, hey, yeah, just bring that right
Bring
in.
it right in.
We're more than happy to blank. We're more than happy to take a force of 1 and just
get
keep,
it to the
and
sixth end.
just keep the clock and the game moving along.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing basic math right now.
Oh, yeah.
They can play things evenly. They've got no worries whatsoever. It's when we don't that could make it interesting. So sheet B, starting to get interesting here, Alf.
Get a couple way in the deep house.
Yes,
Way
and
in
that
the
could
deep
make
house.
for a very unusual end, especially in a 2-2 match after 4. Something tells me this one could break wide open here, although
I think Sean
Jake wants the double.
wants to take him out.
And that's smart. You don't want to start gunking up everything. It's been a very clean, fairly risk-free
What happened to Nigel's rocks? I
played
wonder.
game.
They're out, obviously.
I didn't notice there were some sweepers standing there, and we were checking out sheet C. But as this one comes in, I don't know if they're going to get the double, but they've got the one.
Oh, I think they got the.
And they'll sit in front of the
Alright.
second, so that's a good outcome.
Yep.
It thinned out the pack at the back.
Yep.
Jaspreet is saying, let's just blow it up. John Geppert's in for, I believe, his first.
Oh,
No, it's
nicely,
John's second.
nicely tucked around the guard as he's on the pin, basically. Top on the tee line, on the pin.
On sheet C.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just short of the pin, but probably within 2-3 inches.
Oh yeah, but it's in front of it. That's the key.
And that's a good way to get your cause going.
Shrinks the scoring zone.
Yeah, and, well, they've got a steal here, so
Oh, yeah.
if they get the hammer back, that's because, Ardsley would have scored.
All right, they're sweeping
At
this
least
an awful
one,
lot. It
so-
needs to curl. Here it comes.
And I
Here
think
comes
this
the
is going
curl.
to be pretty good.
He's going to chip it off the button.
Likely will. I'm looking at the monitor up top. They just got by. They pushed it
Pushed it out of the. Yep.
out of cover and to the back 4. That's a
Yep,
well-executed shot.
Very
That
nice.
was Vinay.
Yep.
That was a real nice shot, Vinay. So up next, Joe Grimaldi.
Let's see what our viewers have to say about all this.
I don't know. Did you see, Alf, what Robert asked Joe of here? Is he looking to just kind of Christmas tree out or is he coming right down to the shop because they do need stones?
Kate, how you doing?
I think he's coming right down to it, Alf. So it's
Yeah.
coming in with looks to be T-line weight. So that would
Yeah,
indicate
here it comes. Here it
yeah,
comes.
they want to put a second one in and put some
Oh, yeah.
real pressure on Ardsley, and it looks like they're doing
It's going right around the guard, I think.
Came up short,
No, came up short.
and that's fine too.
Yeah.
They may not
Nice
be
angle,
one,
too.
but assuming they may not be one, they're okay because they're covered, and Ardsley is not.
All right, Ryan. I think they'd be wanting to
He wants
start
to-
start hitting things.
He's not though.
No, it's not.
Chris has asked Ryan to come in under the yellow
the yellow.
guard of Ardsley, and that'll give them at least one, and then they don't have to really think much about the best redstone because it can only move further away.
If he's a little narrow, he can tap it.
And on sheet B, John Geppert with some really heavy-duty sweeping to hold that stone to make
Got them
the
all
hit.
out. So
And
the
it
house
looks
is
like
empty now.
we do now again have an empty house with what was beginning to look like it could have been a real sketchy end for either team. You don't want to start with 9 or 10 rocks in the house.
Oh, that.
We must
What
have
happened?
a burned
They
rock.
must have burned it because
Yeah,
they kicked that right out of the way.
it's got to be Dan because he just
Yeah, he's not happy.
yeah, he just kind of grasped his broom.
Mm-hmm.
He burned it.
Happens.
Yes, it does. We've all done it.
It's
We'll
not,
all continue to do it.
It's not something you want. And
So over on B, Robert Kwan is likely going to the wings.
way to the wings. He's hammer, right? Yeah, red's hammer.
Red's got hammer, so regardless of where they lie, they
Hey,
can be hit.
you think they might just throw it in the middle and, well, of course, they're
No,
setting
yeah.
up a possible deuce.
I've always liked wings here because
I mean, they're going for a blank
yeah, and you're
at this point.
well. That's one thing you're going for, but you're well past free guard, so guard isn't going to.
Oh,
help
no, you don't want to guard.
You definitely want paint, and if you go wings,
Is he in still?
no, they clip too. But when you go wings, there is the off chance that the opponent might not
Well,
work
then you-
out,
then you
or,
get your
or they
deuce.
spill. But
Yeah.
if you go middle, you let them hit.
Well, you're playing
And
for
stay on.
Again, you're playing for a blank. So,
Yeah, and that's the
all right, a lot of tapping going on.
best
we see
option
here.
for them here. Especially because now that they're in the fifth, they could shore up that they would have what could likely be the hammer in the sixth and eighth, so two of the final
Yeah,
three
yep.
ends, and that's always a good strategic way to approach the game. So
Oh, we're looking for a.
Dan's asking Jasprit to likely sit on that, and is that rock actually in the house or just in play but off the rings, Alf, on sheet B? I think
I think it's off the house. I see some
And it
white
doesn't-
paint under it.
doesn't matter except for the blank. But
Brian's going for a hit roll here.
he is, and I just can't see it because there's people in the way.
Always people in the way. That's why we need a real control center here. He's not going to get much roll. It's pretty close. Oh, there's a roll.
I
Here it
could
comes.
finally see, and he did remove it, and he kind of sidled up to those guards up front in the top 12/8.
Red's one.
Pretty
but
good outcome.
Yellow's 2, 3, 4.
That's a pretty good outcome. Robert's got to do something with that, and maybe even just roll off it softly. I'm thinking Elf, like a back 4 to back 8 weight tops, and just kind of skinny off the inside, and you'll be sitting 2 as red. And you'll also push that yellow one back to maybe the halfway into the 8, which will give you a good backer for yourself too. Meanwhile, on sheet B, and unfortunately they're both coming
Julie
in at the
Granada.
same time.
Julie Granada.
He's got a
Oh,
nice
she's
one.
gonna get a
and
little.
this is
She's
it.
gonna get a little roll. What'd she
Well, she made it to number 1, but that's a good outcome because now it's set up to really launch it.
get? Robert's tucked in behind the guard nicely. Is he on the
good-
tee line?
I think so, and I don't know if he's 100% buried, but he's probably 90% buried. Hard to tell on that little monitor.
Yep.
So meanwhile, everyone here in the lounge seems to be well dialed into these games. Usually by now you're hearing a lot of board games and banter. The only real banter we hear is when there's like a really exceptional shot made.
See a lot of Bryans here.
Oh, the Bryans are still on
The
hand.
Bryans are here.
All the same folks. So
Bit of unlucky
Oh,
there.
gosh,
Yellow
that's
Yellow
unfortunate.
chipped their own rock out.
they did, and
And
game on, as they say.
oh boy, Red
Now,
sitting 1-2.
Robert goes immediately to just asking Julie for just that guard. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
we're going to check out sheet B because Dan Pearson is out
Coming
with his
after,
first.
coming after Robert Quan's.
And I assume they're running back
weight.
that guard somewhere
Yeah.
right on the nose. I could barely see. They
No,
peeled.
peeled.
That's
missed
fine.
it. Well, now
That
Robert, now
changes
they can put a
things.
second one in.
Yes, they could. Julie's off looked pretty good, but I'll tell you, it's, from where I'm seated, it's really starting to curl
Starting to
out.
curl, but it's holding, it's holding,
But they're okay.
it's holding. Now watch him make a little kiss off the yellow. Little,
Shoulder right to it. That's
Shoulder right to
rather
it.
good.
well, that depends. That could be a tap back to the rock on the back of the forefoot. That's a possibility.
But they're not doing it. Instead, they're looking to maybe run the double or at least peel that top four. I think that's the most they could hope for, but we're about to see because
Oh, I
Darren
see.
Gerlach has just come out with nice control weight.
Yeah.
Chris is down in position. Sweepers are just, oh, nope, righty. Ryan
Ryan's
Heidi's
He's
on it.
on it. He's pushing it.
And
He's pushing it.
got it.
They're going to hit it.
So they're running it. And it jammed, but it did go back
Jam.
button. So I would say that yellow is better off than they were a minute ago.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Jake Ness has thrown up what looks to be.
Oh, it's got to reach. They
Something
got
they
to.
wanted to
Everybody's
get the
everybody's
rings.
sweeping. You got 4 sweepers here, and it's not going to
And
reach.
They did not, so they don't get their split, which is what they had sought. Jaspreet is immediately down into the
Take out.
let's hit this position.
So the blank is still possible.
Yeah, and I didn't see any gesture
bad. He had
or
the-
suggestion that they would, but they are well served to do exactly that.
Jake has thrown one. Okay.
Now they've thrown. Is this hammer? I thought this was hammer. It is. So yeah, he's looking to peel just for the blank.
Robert has hammer. I mean, Jake has hammer. No.
You're right. Where's the rock?
Where's the rock?
It
got moved.
It's on.
It got
sheet
moved
C.
over.
Okay. Yeah, that makes perfect sense based on the scoring. So either way, he's then I guess Dan is trying to hit and stick,
Yeah, he'd like to stick.
which under such assumption, Jake will then attempt to blank. So we'll get back to that. Much bigger shot here on C. Robert Howells is out of the hack. He's throwing normal touchdown weight, and he's looking to shake everything up at the top. Likely push his center line red.
Oh no! All right, it rolled out.
No, that's fabulous. He did bump his own number one. Oh gosh. He bumped his own number one into the full 8, but the object yellow is now probably an inch or two closer, and in fact, now shot stone for Ardsley. Dan is sizing up whether
Over on-
he just wants
Hold
to.
on. Over on B, Jake's just going to throw through for the blank. So that's taken care of.
And 24 minutes, so like
Plenty
you
of
said,
time to finish
play
the
one
sixth
end.
Yep.
So nutmeg.
So somebody had a blank on their cards for the 5th end.
Oh,
on
is that what's
sheet B.
going on?
Oh yeah, they got the money cards out.
Little competition. Okay, I see some dollars being exchanged.
Dollars going. I got a stack of ones.
So Jake's going to keep the hammer in the 6th end, and that's a good
That's
thing.
a good thing. 6 and 8.
Yep. And here comes Chris Benino with his first. He's going right through that port, and I'm seated right behind it. So they're sweeping it though. And I can't
Looking
see
good.
'cause
Looking
Chris's
good.
body's in the way. so-
Looking good. Looking good. Dead
And
on.
they
Dead
got
on.
through.
And a little no roll. Dead on.
That's nice. I mean, they left the same shot
Yeah.
in return, but
Now
well
that
played.
yellow sitting 2, eh? 3.
3.
Oh. Red does this. They're going to
So
want to move
they're
that. They need some roll.
They're saying without saying, hey, come on down through that port and
Come and get it.
do the same but better, because given the score, Red's going to need a roll, and I'm thinking the roll back towards center, toward the wall, is the way to get under cover. Otherwise, they might be.
This could exchange of hits here.
Yeah, I think if they.
It favors. Well, we'll see. I always say that when I announce. We'll see.
You know what? They're better off to cross the side of it and roll back towards sheet B. This one's taking the same. It's just
this
not
is
going
not-
as fast.
Oh dear, this is not going to get it.
It's going to clip.
No.
It's going to clip. And it did, but it took a weird carom and actually advances.
It's shot.
Advances it to shot stone. Ryan Heidi's all grin. Vinay's looking in a bit of disbelief.
Yeah,
And
Mr. Howells
Laura
is
is
going.
just-
No, I decline that. That's not real.
he's going to have a sip of his beverage, saying,
Yeah,
Whatever.
dang, whatever. of a.
We'll do it
He
the
missed-
way we did it, the way we've done it.
He missed it by so much. It was. So
Sheet B's looking pretty casual setup, center guard, a corner guard, and now Michelle Steffer is.
so he can throw a screamer.
I'm sorry, Michelle Steffer's coming in around the guard.
Oh, he's got to get that. He's got to chip the red one out from in front for 2 or 3.
Could have.
Two, I mean,
Meanwhile,
if he throws it down weight enough, he can chip it out for 3.
let's see.
4. It's 4 is in play,
4 if he stays in play.
but 2 or 3 if he.
But you just get rid of it.
Yeah, got to get rid of it. It's a tight. It's a tight hit.
And it's coming through. Yep. Oh, and they got
One,
the rub
two.
on the way by.
1, 2, 3,
We're-
4.
We're likely looking at
That could
possible
be-
handshakes. Robert's looking down at his team. Chris Bonino with a
Oh, my word.
phenomenal shot.
Phenomenal shot. 9-2 after 5 ends. They're going to play the 6th probably.
Well, sure. Maybe you grab 3 or 4 here, see what happens. Gets the rocks back into where they're headed.
So an Ardsley strong 5th end.
That does give them a commanding lead and super control of this match. So let's focus over Alf on
Yeah,
sheet
yeah.
B.
Sheet B.
We've got.
What did we end up? We had a blank, of course. They didn't put the number up, but let's recall it's a blank. So
well,
red
looks-
will retain hammer.
Looks like Nutmeg's got one undercover in the 8-foot, just up against the 4. Except Bucks, Plainfield, Diamond State are coming down with really down weight and a real nice chip to remove it.
And
Jake's
across
going to
the
do
house.
his best, but just relegate it to the back 8.
Pretty well hidden,
And pretty
but
well
way,
hidden.
but way, 25 feet between the guard and the rock.
So we've got what looks to be a high stakes drama finish coming on sheet B. And
Yeah.
barring something really huge here, likely near the completion of the first semifinal on sheet C.
Looking to be maybe Chris Bonino heading for the finals, but Robert Howells is not dying out yet, not tapping out yet.
Not yet, and the team's spirits seem up.
Oh, we have I don't really notice. There's 2 yellows in the house on
Oh yeah, 2 undercover Alf.
nice down weight by Sean Cummings.
Robert Kwan is massaging it on its way down. They're looking to just come right
Right,
to it.
and
it's
that's
gonna,
what they're gonna do.
he's
Right
into the
to
8-foot,
it,
into
right
the 4.
to it, and a little, not quite a kiss.
Got himself the back button just beyond T. Jasprit immediately indicates to John Geppert that she would like to just sit on it, and that's a sharp thing to do.
Get a takeout, and we're going through the motions here on.
Alf, have they, because I know you can, if you have a good enough monitor at home or especially on a big screen,
Yeah.
you can see the blanks. They have not posted it yet, have they?
No, they have not.
Okay. So for anyone that just popped in or got up to go refreshing their
Sheet
snack
B.
or beverage, the 5th end was in fact blanked by Team Ness,
On sheet B.
by Nutmeg, that is right. So if anybody's wondering what was the
Now,
score, the
where's
score
this
was
gonna
nothing.
Go?
and
Where's this gonna go? Where's
It's
this
going to
gonna
bump it
go?
a little bit, and that's rather good. They're still in pretty good graces right there, sitting 1, 3, and 4. Yellow, that is. And Jake is,
Robert's coming down here to have a look-see at something.
he
Don't-
is, but
Don't throw your gripper. Don't,
Jake's
don't
initial,
throw your gripper.
and he just found something on the ice. That could be
Uh-huh.
an important find.
Yep.
Jake's initial glance was to say, hey, let's sit on this shot rock. But like you said, Robert's now down, and they're just kind of reviewing what could happen either event as Ryan Heidi delivers on sheet C to simply remove the open Albany rock. And he does exactly that,
Moved and
albeit
cleared his.
with a peeled shooter.
Not
I
a-
actually,
Not a problem.
I prefer the peeled
Yeah.
shooter
Oh
here.
yeah. Not a problem.
You just don't want a whole lot around.
Nope.
All takes just one, as we say.
Yep.
He's got one on the rings. He's got two. Why put a third?
Yep.
They are up 8.
All right, Sean Cummings. Let's see what they went for here.
They've got down weight, so I think they're going with Jake's original call, which is
Come
to simply
sit to it.
sit, corner freeze to it. Only Rob Kwan is moving up, and now Nigel has joined in. They're going very hard.
Very hard.
Looks like they're going to come up a little short, Alf.
8 foot. Maybe get the 8.
Maybe bite the 8. And
maybe
that's,
bite the 12.
That's fair and good because that,
Well, here we go.
well, now they're looking at some kind of run. So that's not a great outcome, actually.
No, it's too. Nope, there's the throw. Don't you be throwing it.
I just saw it, and I almost hoped you hadn't seen it. It's a harmless gripper toss, Alfie.
It's
Because we all certainly know what the hostile or not so friendly gripper toss is.
It's not.
AKA gripper whippers.
It's not really classy.
Oh,
Not really classy. It's lazy.
well, you know my flick. I do it shin height.
When I do it, it's definitely classy.
Oh, Mecca Eagles.
Oh,
You're a
well, there you
classy
go,
guy.
man.
I'd
Okay,
expect none other.
a lot of
But,
panache over there. A
As
lot of
opposed
panache.
to my dear friend Ryan Heidi, who has once or twice been known as a gripper whipper. I remember the night he panged the glass with it.
I just don't like the idea of throwing grippers.
I know you don't. We're going to have to work on that.
I think if you get to the tee line and throw it from there, maybe okay.
And that's
But
typically
you're up
what
at
I do.
You're at the top of the house or out in the guard zone and you're tossing a gripper. You're just being a lazy SOB.
I'm just trying to save time, and it
Yeah,
does.
no,
It
you're
saves
just
me
Just being lazy.
2-3 seconds every
can't-
rock,
you-
every end, it adds
yeah.
up. That means I personally, Alf, have saved. I personally have
Hours.
saved my rink
Hours.
30 seconds in a match, and sometimes that's all it takes to make the difference. So we can mitigate that later once this is over. But yeah, it looks like the
That's
ladies on
that's
sheet
my
C,
that's my gripe.
they just hogged one on
Just
sheet
hogged one.
C, and from bad to worse for
They
Team
want to knock
Howells.
they want to knock their own out here.
Now Robert's starting
Yep.
to look a little
Wait a second.
deflated.
They're going to peel this one out.
So
Yeah,
we're looking at peel mode now.
going to
Yep.
peel his own. Just doesn't do a darn thing at being there.
No, and in fact, all it does is help your opponent.
Yep.
Geez, even if you're up only a couple. Although if you're up a couple, I'd put one behind it. But yeah, being that the span is pretty large here, you self-peel.
A little narrow on the broom, but it's going to catch the inside edge of it.
I am not convinced on that, but Vinay's trying to push it back.
Well, I was right on line with it.
He's got it. Yes, he does. Just enough.
Got enough.
They execute nicely, Vinay Gowenka
Nice
with
working.
the push.
Got the push. Got it going.
So now Roberts faced with likely sitting on top of that.
Yeah. Not going to be an easy multiple point end here.
And look at this, Alf. We let's check out sheet B. You do
Nigel's
not-
coming down.
You do not have an overhead, correct, on sheet B?
Yes, we do. Well, we got the bigger view here. We can.
Can we check that out, please? I think
All right,
everyone at home is going to want to see this. Yeah, Nigel is coming down, but the Roberts heading back to the hack. So I guess they've already.
Jake has
thought
the
this
broom out. Jake
through.
has the broom out for the.
They're trying to pick it. I bet you he's throwing back 4 to back 8 weight. You're going to need back 8, right, to be able to set yourself up with the deuce. And he can't push it just off towards sheet A and still leave it biting the button, because then all you've done there, I guess, is still allow the button and pin draw, but that also allows your opponent the same.
Robert's going through his
I
pre-shot
think he's trying to
routine
move
here.
it. He's trying to move that thing off the 4, or mostly off the 4. And by way of doing that, he'll also leave his in the full 4. Hopefully not a double. And you've got that overhead, you said.
Yeah, we're gonna zoom in on it right now. First off, to see the shot on C.
And we're just doing the fundamental, elementary things. that
Here's
one would
Robert.
do
Now
when
here's
they're up
Robert
a
coming out of the
bunch.
hack. So we're gonna.
And we got handshakes.
We got a
in
handshake.
fact,
All right. So here comes Robert's rock into your view, right down the center, right down the middle here. Not a lot of weight on it. Ooh, not a lot of weight is right.
might be a little too down, Alfie.
He's
But
gonna
they
corner
could
it.
still corner it for something to execute
yeah.
later. That's a nice outcome.
That's a nice rock.
That's a nice rock, because they are a
Yep.
solid 2-3, and Dan Pearson really needs this next one to be right where he's
total
tapping,
guard.
or at least somewhere in the path of that outside of the house.
Because a hit here for Robert or Jake will get potential for 3.
Two to three, correct?
2 to 3.
So,
Oh, we got
while,
shaking on C.
yeah, and while Jazz
Congratulations
Creek's
to
coming
the
down with
Ardsley,
hers,
the Ardsley rink of Chris Panino, Dan Gerlach, Ryan Heidi, and Vinay
Goenka.
Gwenka. Easy. Every letter is pronounced.
Yep.
Easy.
And they're the first to qualify for the GNCC
All right,
Open
and now
Championship
we're going
tomorrow.
to go right overhead here, looking at sheet C, B, right down the middle.
This looks pretty good. It came in. Ooh. That works.
He can, Robert could still follow that and sit 2.
Well,
Maybe.
I need to be standing directly behind that sheet, and we're on the sheet next to him, as most of
We're
you
off,
know.
we're off at a,
You don't have a direct overhead on that, do you?
no. Well, I mean, it
That
is
could
on
help.
B, so you get as clean a straight in view as there is.
There's definitely Chris Benino and company heading into the lounge to the applause of those on hand. We still got a good 24 folks here.
Nothing. We got all these other cameras, but nothing helps. Lot of discussion here. Now, okay, they got 10 minutes to finish this end, so wow, this is going to be a while, isn't it?
Something that always comes to mind, especially the little longer that they are not throwing rocks on their sheet, combined with the notion that 8 more people just came off. We're going to see a little
Ice
frost.
slows down a little. Yeah, slows
Ice
down.
gonna slow down.
Oh, we're going for the in-off again. Now, yeah, because if he hits the yellow into the red, his red ain't going to
He's
stick
not throwing
around.
an in-off. He's raising this.
Yeah, you're gonna raise the red.
Jake's looking in a straight, like call it a vertical path line to just jam this object rock directly onto that yellow. And from there, red, yellow, maybe red, yellow.
Red.
This is going to move a lot of granite.
A lot of granite.
Potentially,
Boom, 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 boom.
potentially 7 rocks, 7 or 8 rocks.
6. I see
Well,
6.
no,
I
'cause
see possible 6.
They won't shoot that red across the top of the yellow, but there could be a good 5 rocks in motion here, including the shooter.
I think the back red's going to go straight back onto the one that's biting the 12-8. All right, Robert's getting his
I
pre-shot
think you're right.
routine
So
down.
it could be 6 rocks in motion, including the
Well,
shooter.
we'll see. He's got
Oh,
a.
wait. Whole new shot, Alf.
Oh no, he's going straight at it.
He's going straight at it.
All right, you're going to get to see this live and right up on top. You're going to be sitting on the shoulders of giants here watching this last one. I think there's a lot of
He's
nervous
gonna
energy
throw
among the sweepers, I'll
Big
tell you
weight.
that.
He should be throwing peel weight.
Yep. All right,
I
folks,
mean,
here he
maybe
he's
catching-
coming out of the hack right at you.
Catch an inch or 2 of it is all you need. No, he's not.
No,
throwing
that's
big weight.
pretty much normal. And boy, is Sean sweeping.
Wait a second.
All right, everybody, take a look. Here it comes. That's
I'm
not.
confused here, Alf. Something went
He's-
really off track.
The
on
line's
this
looking
shot.
good. Oh no, it's not. All right. Oh.
Well, it did open up. Other than that, there's another.
But there is a
there's
yellow.
another catcher there now.
Yeah, there's more catchers for that yellow.
Now I'm not convinced.
And that's
there's
why
a
he
way.
swept it.
I'm not convinced there's a manner to get that yellow rock off the button.
Not only that, they might want to just hit there, drive the yellow into those 2 reds, and maybe the red
Actually,
first one to be hit might squirt out.
they hit the top yellow,
Yep, into the red.
squirted out to sheet B toward the Yale logo.
Yep,
If people could see
yep,
that.
and yellow could sit too.
Yes, they could, and one of them, in fact, right between a nice
Yellow,
pouch.
the back rock wedged in. Unless it hits it too hard and splits them open a little.
This one looks like it's going the distance.
Oh, it's going.
So as
It's
soon
going
as they
all
throw
8.
these next 2 shots, I'm going out for a camel, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes.
You're not going to stick around for this last shot? All right, then I'll bring your mic back up. All right.
Yeah.
So
I'm sticking around for it, but as soon as this end is over,
you're out. Get your
going
5
for
minutes.
a,
4
going
minutes.
for a camel break. So Nigel Lucas sitting in anticipation, all by his lonesome down by the far end.
He'll have hammer because they did the blank in the fifth.
How do we know?
This is why they asked for why they went for the blank. Uh-oh, Detroit put a goal in over.
You know, I really haven't looked over there, Alf.
Detroit scored to a screen
Nope, that's something else. Oh no, that is the game. Is that the game?
at the
winner?
Ohio Stadium,
Yeah.
and the place looks full. There's be 100,000 people watching. How about that? 100,000 at a hockey game.
And they've got a retro jersey. What are we at? 3-3 with 3 minutes to go. 3:20 in the game.
Anyways, here comes the shot.
Yeah, this is the one we're waiting on.
Coming into
So,
view here. Oh, they're just putting the
Dan
guard
is
on
just
it.
guarding up. Just guarding up.
He's guarded both sides of the draw path. Look at that.
And why not? Because you'll take the possession out of the favor of the
Yeah.
team that was expecting to have the two of the
Now,
last three.
now they got to look at the angle in, but even that's got the. This is only to get one now.
And I guess worth saying again, they still have not posted the blank from the fifth. So what we're looking at is it's actually
Sixth end.
Nutmeg, sixth end, and Nutmeg has hammer.
Yeah, and this is hammer.
And Bucks,
Or is it?
Plainfield, Diamond State is looking to steal with one well covered.
There is a yellow rock still down there.
Oh, there's, yes, there
Oh,
is.
so this is not hammer.
No, this is
So
Jake's
this
first.
this could be clear some space.
But he's not throwing big weight.
That's
He's got
pretty big.
normal
That's pretty
weight.
big weight. That's normal.
I don't know if he's on the outside enough. He did make some motion.
That's going to be a close measurement. Sorry, we didn't get you.
That's got to still be yellow.
Yeah, probably.
That's got to be yellow. Yes, it would be, right, Alf? At the
Yeah.
Yellowstone.
Because the
is
Yellowstone's
entirely
inside of
in
the button
and
and
red's
the red buttons.
maybe 80%.
Yep.
There's some ways you could shake this up, though, now.
Yep.
And
Boy,
he
he could pull that off and knock that red away.
I like where Jaspreet just tapped to just draw down that way and just come right into the pack. He doesn't want to.
You don't want to move that guard out of the way.
Couple different raises that Nutmeg could play. I don't know if you want to move that one.
Nope.
And he's having a good time chatting about it. All smiles. Jaspreet says, no, we really ought to just come here, and I tend to agree. Just go there. Just go there. They can't come at that with any substantial weight, and I think they could really put a crushing blow if they freeze this up to the number one. They are pretty solid to steal, and of course that doesn't suggest for what Nutmeg might try to do with their hammer. If they somehow upset that one on the top of the button, they could give a steal.
Not for
two.
nothing, but they got 3 minutes right now.
I've been watching that.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're not slowing it down. Okay, they're shots away.
Well,
All right, they aren't slowing it down, but if they want to get 8, if Jake wants to get 8 in, he can't.
I imagine he does. So they're going to want to be prompt, and they will be either way.
Oh, this could be a hog.
You could be right. I believe it is.
No, I think it's over.
I'm not convinced, Alf.
I'm not convinced either. That is a full-blown.
Oh, they did it, didn't they? Holy cow!
Full-blown guard.
No surprise with.
All right, so that it cannot.
They got two really good
Right, they got
young
two-
sweepers.
They got 2 full minutes here.
Yep. Did it just change to 2?
Yeah, just changed it to.
So does that mean it's 2:59 when it changes to 2?
1:59.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So it is a straight 2. Yeah, they know what they want to do. They just got to review where they're going to hit it and with what weight. And these guys sweeping already know what's going on. So, yep.
All they got to do is kick the rocks. They don't have to throw the first rock to the next end. At least that's what most
Are
tournaments
we
have been
sure
lately.
about that?
Not totally. You know, every local rules every time.
Well, Colin's here. Colin, do they need to start the 8th before the whistle?
This rock needs to be released.
Oh,
Thank
it's
you.
all. They don't even have. Oh,
Okay.
no, they got it.
We're
They
good
got.
by
They got
close to 90 seconds.
They got 90 seconds. All right, here we come. No touching it. No touching
Not
it. Is it
yet.
wide? Is it wide?
It is.
Okay,
Okay, so we're looking at a steal of one.
The yellow one.
Dan Pearson was ready to sweep it in case it was squiggling in.
He came across just
All
in
right,
case.
so I'm stepping out. I'll be back.
All right. Microphone's off. You're safe. All right, folks. So going to be Alf winner here for a bit. They got their sixth end in 1 hour and 39 minutes.
Anything but overtime here. We don't want a 3-point game, Ryan. Oh, no. Oh, they just got another one, so 5-3. Oh, good. Okay. Anything but overtime.
The band is ready.
So we got a 3-2 match after 6 ends. This is a defensive struggle. Anybody who was betting to have 2 or 3 points per end would be a little disappointed so far this game. First rocket's going to go a little deep in the house. That sets Nigel up in the hack now with hammer. No, hammer 3 ends in a row. And Nigel's away. That one's got a lot of juice on it. They're jogging after it. Oh, that's because there's a rock in the back 4. I didn't see that. Nigel's got the hit. Pretty much stuck. Might have moved an inch or 2. I think we're going to have a series of hits here until we get something established. All right, shots away. This is Michelle Sheffer. She made the hit and lost the shooter. Nigel gets his second shot with hammer. Wonder if we'll go for a draw. No, we're going for a draw. We're going well out in the wings. Nice looking shot by Nigel. Let's see how it checks up. Okay, maybe a little warm. Yeah, it's going to go back house and right through. Dipped his shoulder when he released that one a little bit. We'll talk to him about that. Okay. On to John Geppert, second. Empty house. 1 point game after 6 ends. Might be looking to, Robert might be looking to do Jake doing a blank end again here. It's certainly starting off conveniently that way. We got nothing in play. No guards. Now this one might be a guard. But they could start peeling right now. Yeah, center guard. Now, that's the 5th rock, so free guard zone's out of play. Jake's put it down for a intern peel. Sean Cummings ready to oblige. Not big weight. Nigel sweeping. Now Robert takes over. Pushing it. Okay, they ended up with a corner guard. Nice peel with a red corner guard. Jappreet Calling for another center guard, maybe, or let's see. Got the broom out wide for the out turn. Middle of the 8 foot. Oh, that's definitely guard weight. That is a light, very light rock. Got any viewers left on board now? 19 viewers. Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a great evening. We're here in Bridgeport at Nutmeg Curling Club. Got the one semifinalist in place for tomorrow. One finalist tomorrow. That's the Ardsley rink of Chris Bonino, and we've got the Nutmeg squad going toe-to-toe here with Philly Diamond State, and we just went in, or no, Sean did that, and then they put a guard just off center, and Sean tried to peel it, and it ended up being.
Yeah, it looks like they're just asking Jaspreet to curl around, but they're coming up short.
Might get a nibble. They're going for it anyway.
And again, we've got no feature on either far nor near end.
No, all the cables have been eaten by squirrels or something.
That'll be mitigated in the
That's next
off
season,
from what I understand.
Yeah, we're going to stretch out new wiring, and
we're going to curling champion broadcasting.
Yeah,
same as Ardsley, I think, right?
That'll be nice.
Among others.
Individual sheet coverage. You can watch what you want to watch.
Or that is, we can let them watch what we want them to watch. They can't choose at home, right? In other words, they're just viewing what is being broadcast to them, from what I understand. But here comes Rob Kwan, looking for the double peel.
Double peel.
Triple if you count shooter. Something he's very capable and likely to do. Jake's not giving it much room.
No.
And he's throwing
full
a big
extension.
peel.
Gave it a little
extra
arm. Little extra arm.
He's got the top.
Just a simple peel. Man, a lot of weight on that one.
Didn't come across. Maybe another inch and a half. Could have been in some position to move that second one.
Interesting. This is the A event, and they're going to play the A event finally usually on sheet B. I wonder why they didn't play on A and C. But that's another story for another day. All right, they're going to tap in. They're going to draw in.
I think they're going to draw in with the indication. Jaspreet's in the hack. And she's off.
Yeah, this is key. Oh,
looks to be a typical T-line draw weight. Top
this
four.
Is key. Robert and Jake Company, they got to generate a deuce here.
This looks pretty good.
Yes, it does.
Coming in, it's going to be close to the guard. They may have missed the line.
No, I don't think they missed it.
Nope,
they ticked it.
They just barely ticked it, but now they're going over toward the other guard.
Nah,
Still
right down the middle.
Still open.
Wide open. Now.
That's what we call the draw risk.
They
wanted to get as close to that as they could without hitting, and they just went a half inch too far.
Robert would love to get a roll here. Or a blank.
And I'm not going to be able to see because I've got the two sweepers of the opposition directly blocking my entire view of the house.
Just enough here I can give you.
Well, thank
Out
you.
turn.
All I can see is Jake's knee and Robert. Looks like
a lot more down weight.
They've moved, so I can see again. Sean Cummings is on it trying to push.
It's a bit wide, but they want the roll.
Well, they're going to get the stone.
And the roll.
And they're hanging.
And it's going to go right to the wing.
That's well played.
Back of the tee line.
That's well
played.
Out
in the 12-foot. Away from the yellow guard. Red sitting one. And we're into the skip rocks now.
Looks like Dan's happy to
go for the hit.
Stick around behind that red.
Now, is that yellow rock biting the top of the house? That's going to be key as far as if a blank's in play.
I can't tell because because of the glare.
Let me take a look. I'll be back.
Thank you. So here comes Dan Pearson with his first. He's got himself some normal touchdown weight. John Gippert's just staying ahead of it. Now he's on it a little bit. And he's got the inside roll rather nicely under cover. That's well done. That's about the perfect spot because it's actually peeking out to the outside, which is where you'd want to be if anything. Now it's going to be that much harder to curl down from the inside port and shoulder it. So Rob Kwan and Jake are looking at hitting it actually from the outside. And Alf's going to have a bird's eye view because from the monitor, how much of that stone is out, Alf? 20%? Oh, they're gambling. Okay.
Money changes everything. No, it's not a biter up front.
What about that?
That's a tight. There's room, but not a lot. He can see about 2/3 of it. I'd say 2/3 to 3/4
from the outside.
Yeah, coming outside in.
Oh, then I try to hit it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Because the blank is the top priority.
They're not though. They're going to draw around the other side. Oof. They're ignoring it. Well, it's barely in the 8 foot, so I can see why.
Mm-hmm. All right, so they do this. It is not about the blank anymore.
And for those that aren't familiar,
I'm familiar. We have a note.
She remembers. She's not here now.
Oh. Uh-oh.
This is from Thursday nights.
Well, gosh.
Oh, you mean while I was in Charlotte?
No, she said it was.
Oh, this rock does not look heavy.
Well, is she still here? Oh, okay.
In the future. In the future. In the future.
Sean is sweeping hard, and it's looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Bury it. Bury it.
Make it right.
Bury it. Make it right. What a beautiful draw by Jake Kness. That's a pretty nice shot. Really buried it. Now, that's his first shot with hammer. He needs a deuce. He needs a deuce bad.
Well, I don't know how far you could push this back.
Or sit in front of it and let him have one. You let him one.
It's behind the tee, so it's 7 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, you could push it back then. But can you push it back to a full 12? I would focus more on just getting to it and counting the one.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm up one.
Yep.
What you don't want to do is
bounce,
push it just a couple inches over, and then roll yourself
and
into
bounce,
the wide
yeah,
open.
Yeah. Even down one isn't the worst, but boy, you'd love to hold them to a tie.
And this looks light for T-line.
Nah, Jake's looked even lighter.
They're on it.
Oh, they're sweeping hard. Now, they're off.
Some of the folks over on sheet B are saying it's on the guard.
No, it's not. I don't think.
I can't tell because Dan's in the way.
Oh, he nailed it. He nailed it.
He got by.
He put it right on it.
I missed the whole thing.
And yellow shot, I think. Oh, boy. And here comes Hammer.
Who would know? Who's sitting closest?
That's Mr. Tully. Yellow shot. Yellow shot right on the button.
All right, so that's it.
That's going to make it hard. And he's frozen, they'd say. What a great draw.
When it was needed. Sure. Dan laid out a perfect one there.
Boy, did he.
And, yeah, they actually can't hit it from our side because it's actually cornered.
Yep.
Not cornered, but offset out to our side, right?
Now we're going for this run back again.
I kind of like it because you need to hit it with weight.
Yeah.
You got to unlock it.
But this is it. This is the last rock.
And that's okay because he's not giving up two.
No, unless he.
He's giving up one either way if he just tries something that he knows that is not likely to work. This is likely to work. In fact, the most likeliest to work. It just has to be hit perfectly.
Yeah.
And it is open, so if he throws the shot, it's called right. And Robert knows exactly where to hit it. Probably only about 3 inches off center.
If that. All right, rock's underway, folks.
Sean is trying to
Push it.
push it. He's almost got it. It was a real good look.
Too close to the nose.
He hit it. Yeah, he hit it about 4 inches off.
He could have made it worse. He could have made it much worse.
Takes a good spirits about it.
Yeah,
He didn't pick himself off, but
no. All right, so it's
not
going to be
that would have mattered, right?
it's going to be Jake coming home with hammer
down
down
two,
to
and this is it.
8th end. Jaspeed smiling. They're all smiling. You're playing with house money at this point. Your first event semis. That's a good place to be.
Worth pointing out that at our Spiels, the D, as in David event, will be the
Loser of
third
these
place
two.
overall, but the loser of the two of these matches. So
Albany
Albany will be playing in the D event.
against whoever does not win this match. Or
Correct. And the winner of that match will be third overall.
bronze medal
And
game, yeah.
Ardsley Bonino Rink is going to take on the winner of this for the GNCC Open
So
Championship.
they went right in for a center guard. They did
they
not
got it.
say we're going in the house.
And
Off the center line, they can tick it. So if they do a tight guard and it nicks
so
it,
that's a good start by Michelle.
yes, it is.
Michelle Sheffer.
Okay, Nigel here.
Now, so is Michelle the Diamond State? Because I know for sure
No.
John is Plainfield.
No, I'll tell you who is. It's the fellow in the T-shirt.
Dan?
Can she?
Dan's the Diamond State? Or-
No, John. I think John Gepper.
No. He must have moved because he's been Plainfield as long as I've known.
Oh, well, possible. Maybe.
And I believe Jasper
There's somebody I
Jasper
was
is
talking
Plainfield.
to. Somebody I was talking to.
I'm thinking Michelle is Diamond State
right,
and Dan is Bucks.
Nigel got himself a corner. They were dual members, some of them.
So we're, by the way, Alf, I'm checking out this live feed, and I don't know if everyone fell asleep on us.
Yeah, they stopped
I'm
commenting.
not hearing anything at all from Nutmeg Nation. We'd love to hear something. Here comes Michelle Sheffer's second shot.
They're sweeping hard. Look at these guys go.
Jaspreet's just looking to nose this or even that.
And that one's going to go out. And Jake assumed it was going to reach the sideboard. I don't think anyone's going to complain.
We are still in the free guard situation. So did he call for a corner?
Oh, I
comes
thought
Nigel.
Nigel lost that one. Oh boy, that one's really light. That's very light. I think he's got a guard out of it, but it's going to be a 1 at best.
Which is fine as long
Yeah,
as it gets
yeah.
over.
Oh, he'll be over.
Those guys
That's
are
over.
really sweeping it.
That's over. That's over by 3 feet.
And it's on. It's
All right, 1 foot.
it's all the way off the 4-footer, touching the
yeah,
outside.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
touching
a
the
tall
outside.
one, but they can use it.
Can use it, absolutely.
As I like to say, you can start higher. You could actually go into the top 12 behind it and be well covered. And then you could curl behind that again. Put 2 on that side of the sheet. Maybe that's where you could somehow get a shot for your third.
All right, John Gepper
And
coming in. He's going to go around the center guard.
I assume, Alf, the tiebreaker is an extra end or ends?
Would imagine so.
Okay.
Although we're not at championship level yet at this point, we are still in the preliminaries. All right, here comes the rock. You're going to see it coming right down the middle, and it's
Got by,
got a little extra weight on it. It might go back 8.
which will be good. It needs room to curl, and it is. It is just about.
No, forget back 8. This is top 4.
And it's.
All right, so Jake is going to ignore that.
How far buried are we there? 2/3.
2/3, half, 2/3. Yep. about 15
Jake's
feet,
still
18
gonna
feet
opt
between them.
to stack another corner guard. Good call. Very good call. And this is Sean Cummings doing it. Sean's off and away. Got what looks to be guard weight release. Robert's on it, but not really hard, but now pretty hard, and Nigel's joined him. And they are working this pretty hard.
Yeah, that's a reach the house, I'd say.
Looks like it. But he actually didn't call for the house, Alf. He wanted it to be a 3-guard, and it looks like that's exactly what they'll
And
get.
he's going to get a 3-guard out of it.
Well, now they're maybe going for the bite.
No, I'm going to leave
That's
it out.
a great spot.
Yeah, that's a
when
fine
you're-
spot.
Especially to build a 3-end.
Yep.
But very helpful for a 2.
They're going to go
because
right for the peel. They're going for the corner guard peel.
This is a great call because
Yeah.
if you overcurl, you get that top one. That's also very helpful because the way those guards are configured could be a big problem for yellow.
Big problem.
So this is where you go. Well, actually, she is trying to get the closer one, which would be the thing to do because of how high that is. But you know, there's still a lot of folks out there that would still play the top down under
Standard
any
procedure.
or nearly any circumstance. And she's, you could tell by the way she kind of pointed to it. Either one works.
Yep.
As long as you get one of those red.
And you don't just
And it
nose
looks
it.
like they're going to get the top one.
No.
No, it is going to be the back one.
Now they nose it?
Nope.
No.
And
They
they
want
get
to take it out. They
themselves-
want to take
Sure.
it out. They want to take it out.
Doesn't have to go out, but out is
Better.
very good.
Yeah. All right, what's it going to be? Jake is now changing
okay.
gears and going for the middle.
He is. He's going to opt to corner freeze to the shot rock, which I like.
Yeah.
At this juncture, he doesn't want to be peeling any guards, so he'll use that somewhat of a corner center guard
Oh,
as,
yeah.
as a corner
Oh,
because
yeah.
it is a couple inches off of the center line. And everybody behind us is really in touch with this match.
Big time.
Not a whole
Big
lot
time.
of convo going. Everybody's just
All right,
really
rock's coming in. Here
checking.
comes the rock into your view.
It looks a little short from
No,
what he
I think
asked,
it's
but they're
coming right
stretching
to it. Here
really
it
well.
comes. Really nice. Right to it. Right to it. Come on. Don't.
they
Oh, they
came
stopped. Sweet. You know
up.
they stopped.
They came up,
They came up, and that may have cost them a little.
and I just assumed that Dan and Jasper.
All right, Laura Bennett is not asleep, and Kate is still here.
All right.
Riveted to their game, to this game. Riveted.
Thanks for staying with us, ladies.
So they came off that sweep, and it. Well, it's still playing. It's still, you know, bang bang.
Now, Diane's saying maybe we just leave a guard,
Yeah.
and that's pretty good too. They would have to they would certainly have to come from the sheet A side, but it is kind of a tight line. It's not as big a window as it looks.
Sean's thrown his 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So Robert will be up
maybe,
next.
Maybe they're coming down with like top 8 weight to try to just push that red one a little further under the guard and leave something else out front, because that seems like a good option. Because yeah, I don't know, once you're to the inside of that high red guard, the way they're curling here tonight, it seems like you would only at best sit on the other outside
I wonder
of
if they
that
want to
red.
try and shoulder that guard a little,
I
maybe.
think they want to just shove it a little with like top 8 weight. Top
what
8
they-
to
what-
top 4, and
They don't want to let red
the same way
get to sit 2 here.
the same way, in fact, you would maybe tick a corner guard, but just a little bit less.
This looks light.
Well, that's fine because it
Yeah.
needs to curl. And
They're-
it does seem from here like they're not going to have a problem with that red. It's, if anything, with the yellow, but they could even just drop right between and be good.
Right between 'em,
and
yeah.
that's very
A
nicely
real
lined.
nice high guard.
That's a
Boy.
good lie.
And Dan's happy.
Yep. Now you can't tell with certainty, Alf, but more so in person than on the monitor. If that had the weight to get to deeper, it probably would have hit the yellow.
We'll drop it back to
And
the double view, but as
made
soon
it
as he lets it go, we're going to bring you in. So Robert's going to try the draw. I mean, he's got the whole 4-foot to get to. Now that the center is blocked up, see if
Yeah,
they can get in.
they've,
But boy, they got to get 2 out of this.
they got to get 2 in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And without taking a walk over to sheet B, doesn't look entirely friendly to go from the sheet A side.
No, that's
around that red.
there is a port. I don't know how wide it is from here. It looks tight, but
Not to get to the 4-foot though.
no, not to the floor. There's a lot more room here. All right, here comes Robert. We were going to zoom in now.
This would be the time to drop this one. To,
It's looking warm.
I guess the back.
Looking
4.
warm. Whoa, 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 baby. That's going to go.
Just a little
Oh.
too. He's got
Right through the house.
just about hack weight. Inopportune moment for that to happen. So
Next shot you see is probably going to be a guard.
yeah, Dan's just gonna guard up. 2-3 guard is fine.
Yep.
All about line here. I don't want to be on the rings here.
No. No.
Jaspreet is off with it. Seems to be guard weight.
Everybody's jumping over to the
Yeah,
to the line side.
They're on it hard. Now they've eased up. Michelle's just cleaning it a little bit.
That's going to be tight.
Okay on the guard.
They're going to outshoot the red one? No.
Well, it still didn't take away the 4-foot draw.
Oh, but their second shot now. I don't know if that's really important, but
No, it isn't because
because they can go boom. They can run the
they're not-
double.
It doesn't, if they're not going to beat the one that's number 1, it doesn't matter if they beat the number 2.
Well, they're going to try they got a run. They got a potential run back now.
Which is not
No.
bad because it could alternatively be appeal
Yeah.
and
Now
leave
the
other
center
run
now the
backs.
center guard has to go. He wants to catch that. Now the good news with the yellow past the red, if they catch the yellow, it won't knock the red loose. Whereas if we're shouldered the other way around, that red would get popped out. So he's got a fair to middling chance of doubling these out. All right, we're going to go to the double view here. Let you see Robert line up his release. That's an impeccable release. It's you're not going to see any dumps or flips.
Looks like we got Sean Hogan in the house. What's up, bud?
All right, Robert's lined up, going through his pre-shot routine. He is rock steady still. Uh-oh.
They're talking.
They're talking.
He's up. They're talking. They're doing something else.
All right, fans, what do you think?
They're
What's your
going
call?
top down. I actually like this because
What's up, Sean? Good to hear from you.
once that's gone, peel it to A, shoot it to C. Then they got to put up another tricky guard, a high one. If not,
Which one are they going to
these
go
guys
for the
will then
peel?
run their
Well, they're
red
going to try and
straight
double.
up.
He wants to double peel these if he can.
Yeah, and then maybe run this
Yeah.
one back.
Yeah,
The one that Robert's about to leave on just off the center line.
yeah. So you can see Jake's got the broom down. Robert's getting in the hack. They've changed the shot.
Actually,
Right when he was in the hack, too.
they're looking to peel the shooter right off to A, and
Yeah,
get
yeah.
rid of both of those, and then they can't cover everything unless they
All
almost
right,
split
Sean
the
is
difference.
sweeping.
He did it.
And he peeled them all.
Double peel plus shooter.
Oh,
Very well
everything's
done.
gone. Now it's wide open. So
Now
there
it's
can only
wide
be
open.
one guard,
And you're much better off statistically to use the vices rock than the
unless they
skip
want
shock.
to go ballsy here and knock that red out. Yikes! Take it out like a loose tooth. Yep, that's what he's saying.
I'm thinking this is risky.
Oh yeah, it's risky, but there's a good reward. Even if it shaves the rock on the button off. There's only 2 rocks left. If he pulls this off,
Or do you just come down and tap your number 2 a little bit? Leave a guard.
yeah, because
Maybe
they
it's
could
still doubles.
Yeah, they could double it then, maybe.
Then you kind of shave that number 2 further under the red,
mean,
and maybe push the red over a little.
Yeah, he's going to throw normal
I would think.
and it doesn't matter what else. If the red goes, he doesn't care what else goes.
Numbers wise, it makes sense because if the red's off the rings, red can get no more than 2.
That's pretty big weight. All right, folks, here comes the rock right at you. Take a look. They're sweeping. That's commendable, and they got it.
Okay.
Now,
Do you sit on this? Yep.
got to sit on it.
And then
Can't-
go for the kicker at
then
the
you
end.
gotta-
Play it
yeah.
backwards.
Yep.
Double them out, you're wide open.
Yeah, wide open. No good.
I like to sit.
I mean, you're not using that guard. You're not going under the guard for any reason.
I guess you could, but then that means you're playing that they don't place a guard.
Yeah, put a perfect guard and block you out.
Yeah, he's going to sit on these. I think
Yeah.
that's really all he's
Oh,
got.
yeah. That's all you got.
Sit on those and do something with your last, even if it means you're raising that tall guard that was placed there way back. That could also be the rock that does it, Alf. If you're faced with no other choice, then sometimes you just throw the shot.
Well, you got to throw a real nice draw here. Got to get right up tight to him. Right up tight to him.
Or tight enough that it can't be removed
Can't be
because
easily
they're
removed.
backers, and it's still all the way on the rings because the
Yep. It's got to be, yeah. So
the short end of this rock has to be hittable, so the shooter will then be on the rings. So you need a
is that
full
wide?
12 plus.
Is that wide? Here it comes.
It's coming.
Now don't stop. They cannot stop sweeping.
They've got to bring it on.
And they're bringing it. They're bringing it. They got to go. Keep it coming. Oh,
That's
gee, they didn't reach the house.
trouble.
Oh, boy. They can
That's
peel that.
actually-
They can peel that and be done with it.
This actually, there's no way. I might throw this one away. I know people
Maybe.
always take exception.
Yep. You could make a mistake and peel. You could throw a bad peel and accidentally knock it in.
Because how will red put that up to remove those and get the shooter on the rings? They don't.
Yeah, I think she's calling a throwaway. Or maybe a draw, but
Throw away.
throw it away.
Colin, throw away. If you get a little over anxious and make all of a sudden you tap them on.
That's
All right,
it.
assuming I do throw this away, what are you going to do to
Two.
put that center guard and your shooter onto the ring and remove both of us? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay.
Throw it away. That was a miss.
I look forward to the deep cerebral discussion, not the.
The deep cerebral discussions to shake.
Yeah. Yeah, that way. Hey,
Well,
it'd
folks,
be
we
all right.
have our second finalist, and that would be the
Congratulations to
Bucks.
Team Bucks, Plainfield Diamond State.
Hey,
You'll be heading off tomorrow at what time, Alf?
11:30
11:30 in the morning.
against the
Right
Ardsley
back
rink,
here.
and at 9 o'clock we'll have Albany against Nutmeg. And ladies and gentlemen,
Sounds like
Saturday
it's gonna be
evening, March 1st,
2 more
Bridgeport,
fantastic
Connecticut.
matches coming up, right, Alf?
Right on. Bridgeport, Connecticut, signing off. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Great to see everybody in the chat room, and good curling, all.
All right.
Peace.
Finals tomorrow. 11:30 for the first event finals. 9 o'clock for the D event, the bronze medal. Let me turn your volume down.